All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Village of Royal Palm Beach Special Magistrate hearing scheduled for Wednesday, May 14th, 2025. According to Verizon, it's 5:31, so we can get started. My name's Doug McGibbon. I'm the Special Magistrate. One of the first things we're going to do is swear everyone in, so we'll probably do this multiple times as strays come in. So please raise your right hand, say "I do" when we're done. Does everyone swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Say "I do."
I do.
See, there's a stray that walked in right behind us now, so we'll be catching him later. All right, most of our hearings this evening will be either fine assessment or violation hearings. When you hear your name being called, please come up to the podium. Tell us who you are and what your address is. The village's attorney will try to show you some documents that she will try to enter into evidence, and then they will present their case. You can question the code officer and present any evidence that you'd like to do. That switches when we get to the fine mitigation portion of our program. Those people have been through a violation and a fine assessment hearing. They're asking for relief, so they get to go first, and the village gets to go second. Hopefully everyone has signed in on the attendance sheet out there so they can pull your file and get you out and on your way. And I think I've hit all the highlights, so please take it away, Village of Royal Palm.
Thank you, Special Magistrate Amity Barnard, Village Attorney. We're starting on the agenda with fine assessment hearings on page 1, case 24-1012, 10432 Oliver Lane, Samsuk Seriapo.
Good evening, Special Magistrate. My name is Andrew Armienti. I'm a co-inspector with the Village of Royal Palm Beach. I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the order finding violation with an affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 is a verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
Your names for the record?
Sadawat Kaptip.
Samsuk Seriapo.
And sir, can you spell your name? I have her name, your name, sir.
Satawat.
Uh-huh.
The last name is Garptip.
Garptip.
TIP.
Okay. Evidence that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the previous order finding violation. Page 2 of the order. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing that you own the property. And Exhibit 3 is photographs, dated photographs of the violation. Any objection to these documents being entered?
No.
Okay, thank you.
All right, admitted without objection. Let me look at them. All right, Mr. Code Officer, what is our problem with this case?
The remaining issues with this case, Special Magistrate, are the miscellaneous items around the property. Looks like gasoline cans, a car jack, and other items that have been on the driveway for a long time. So they're still remaining.
Okay.
Special Magistrate, Code Sections 06190A5 and 94, which is a stained sidewalk and fence in disrepair, have complied. So your order will say continue to comply, but as the code officer just testified, 14-2 remains out of compliance. So we're asking for a fine of $1,200 and continuing, that's a period of 48 days at $25 a day.
Your turn. Do you have anything to say? You did the hard part. You fixed the fence, you cleaned up the sidewalk, but you don't clean up the stuff on the side of the house.
The car, that's why now it's done. There's nothing there anymore.
Well,
Yeah.
as of 5/13, do we have photographs of things still on the side of the house? I'm pretty sure we do.
That's what's up there now, yeah, from yesterday.
It's
Yeah,
not
we have
there
pictures from yesterday,
anymore.
and they have the wrong picture up. But the one picture here that I have has things stacked on the side of the house. It's got recycling containers in view. It's got other things that could be put behind the fence. And I just don't know why you did the easy stuff and then or the hard stuff, and you left the easy stuff. Because all I'm going to have to do, or all I can do now, is fine you for leaving things you could have moved in a heartbeat.
I didn't see that from last time, that side of the house. I thought
It's there, you know, well, All right, do we have anything else?
Well, Special Magistrate, the remaining items are in front of the garage. Gasoline cans and car repair items. There's a car jack. So there's been a pile of that stuff going on there for a couple of months now. They did repair the fence, as we stated. They cleaned the sidewalk.
Yeah.
That's what's remaining, so I could not comply the case out as long as those miscellaneous items are
All you
remaining in
had
the
to do was put
driveway.
the stuff in the garage when you were done for the day. You know, now I'm going to have to do a $1,200 fine, and it's going to continue until you move it out into the garage.
Oh, it's done. There's nothing there no more.
This is a picture from
Yeah, but today it's not there no more.
today, right? Yesterday. So, do you want him to go by and see the property so he can stop the fine if you've moved it all out?
Yeah, it's not there anymore. You can.
Okay. So, Mr. Code Officer, he's saying that he moved it sometime after you took your picture, which is fine, you know? You can stop the fine tomorrow if you see it's gone. So,
Yeah,
try
I
to
can drive by, re-inspect tomorrow, and
do a drive-by, re-inspect it. If it's done, then it's $1,200 and stopping, but you do the hard parts and you leave the easy parts. That's weird.
It's nothing.
All right, so $1,200 plus continuing is granted.
thank you, Special Magistrate.
And a finding of service?
And a finding of service via posting is granted or found as well.
Thank you, Special Magistrate. Moving now, staying with fine assessment
You're gonna
hearings.
get an order in the mail. He's going to come by and look tomorrow so we can stop the fine at least.
Page
All right.
2 of the agenda, 24-0719, 853 Hibiscus Drive, Yalen Portella and Jan Rodriguez.
You can wait till I get a stack of them together. Yeah. All your steps in at once. All right, tell us who you are and what your address is.
My name's Jan Rodriguez,
And Yiling Portela.
and our address is 853 Hibiscus Drive.
Thank you very much. All right, please proceed, Code Officer.
Good evening, Special Magistrate Anthony Sandlin, Village of Royal Palm Code Inspector, and I would like to admit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, a verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, photos. And Exhibit 4, AS400 permit info.
Okay.
All right, I'll come back. I'd like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the notice, or excuse me, for the previous order finding violation because the certified mail came back unable to forward. This is the previous order finding violation. Page 2 of that order. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing that you own the property. And Exhibit 3 are dated photographs. Sorry, this paper gets stuck together, second photo. And then the final Exhibit 4 is the village's permit information. Do you have any objection to these documents being entered?
No.
All right, admitted without objection, so we replaced the front door,
Yes.
and we didn't have a permit for it.
We were in the process of submitting the permitting, but the last time we were here, they said that we needed to get the permit for the other side.
For the
For
carport
the
conversion
carport
that was done.
conversion that was done before we bought
Yeah.
the house. And Linda Walker, which she's not here right now, she said that we can put the permitting all together with the front door as well as that side. So we have the architect, we already got all the information, all the permitting stuff, and we tried to submit it and we had some issues. So we've been calling them, and I think we finally were able to submit it, but we're well on our way of getting everything approved and done.
All right, so you have service via posting, and Ms. Walker isn't here, so I really can't.
Your Honor, as far as the AS400 permit info, I did a check on it yesterday. It should be in the file. It says that that permit for the door is still in plan check. Nothing has been printed.
All
As
right,
of yet.
so the permit for the door has been submitted, though, correct?
Yeah, they're in process. The trouble is compliance is issuance of the permit, and.
Yeah, I
as-
understand that, but when, does it tell us when it was submitted?
Can you look that up?
Because I just, if it's been waiting for weeks to go through plan check, I can't yell at them too long. If it was submitted late, then I can,
So go ahead and can you testify to that?
tell us who you are.
We're not doing that door permit. They were gonna put everything on one other permit. And they haven't submitted that yet.
She said something came in yesterday. Do you guys have the date that you submitted?
I want to say it was probably around January.
Did you submit something yesterday?
Yes, so that was for all the carport engineering and architectural plan that we had to submit also from our last meeting here.
Okay, so you submitted yesterday, the application?
Yes.
Okay,
And the door permit was done January 6th.
okay.
So they submitted the door permit in January 6th.
Yeah, this case goes back to January. Your prior order was from January 14th. You required them to comply by 5/9. So they have the door permit in January, but they waited to do the rest of the permitting until yesterday.
Yeah, but was the original case just for the door?
No.
If the original case was just for the door and they submitted it in January, I can't really complain in May if it hasn't been issued. I mean, if it was for everything, including the carport,
Yeah, here's your photos from the last hearing. The carport conversion is part of this case.
Okay.
So that's the required permit. This photo is dated January 7th. I'll approach if you'll allow me.
Sure, come on up. The only photo I saw there was, the doorway being done because the respondents have testified they didn't even do the conversion.
Well, that's what they testified to at the last hearing, but that doesn't negate the fact that they need a permit.
Oh, no, and they've been applying and putting things into evidence.
No, no objection.
That's fine. That was from last
Yeah, this is what I have, which is, a picture of in December for the January hearing of the door. And I don't remember between the, couple hundred cases I've done since January through now, whether or not it was all of it, because it was just the door.
No, this was part of it as well.
Okay. I'm trying to help out, but.
And their testimony at the prior hearing was that they didn't do the conversion. Right, so that they spoke about at the prior hearing in January, that they didn't convert the carport into the space, but that they were going to get a permit. So,
Okay.
again, they're moving in the right direction. Unfortunately,
Yeah, it sounds like you're going to be in front of me for a fine reduction hearing. You just have to remember some of these things because, if you've been applying and you're getting kicked back and forth and it's not on your side, which is what I consider the door, but it was on the prior owner's side, I might be able to extend you some grace there. But for right now, I don't have an issued permit that I kind of need to get you out of this, so it's fine time, I guess.
Well, they told us that we can submit the permitting for the door along with the carport, which is why we waited to just kind of do it all together to be under one permit, to just, pay once.
I understand that, but unfortunately, I have an order that says you're supposed to have the permit issued by a certain date.
what was the trouble? Did you have trouble getting drawings or, that's the trouble. While I can't testify as to whether or not you were told that, the problem is that the prior order required you to comply with everything by May 9th, and we're standing here on May 14th, and you just applied yesterday because whoever took too long to get you drawings. So as he's indicating, you can come back for fine mitigation hearing, assuming that he assesses a fine, and keep bring back to that hearing the chronology of what you've done from January till now. The trouble from the village's standpoint is that we gave you 4 months to comply at the prior hearing, and you only submitted yesterday. So I know that there are extenuating circumstances. Bring those back to the fine mitigation
Yeah,
hearing.
I mean, no one wants to do a little job engineering something that's already been done where they're not going to make any money on it. It's almost like you're chasing someone down for a favor, even though you're waving money at them.
Yeah.
So, we understand. It's, one of those things where, during some of the other problems when we were having all these people buying houses from out of state, you couldn't get a survey to save your life.
Yeah.
You know, people were just doing too many surveys for sales, no one could get a survey for a fence or whatever. You know, and this is, unfortunately for you, we understand that finding an architect or an engineer to certify someone else's work is a pain.
Yeah, it was very, very hard.
It's been stressful.
So you will be back again for the fine reduction hearing, but as I say, you know, just make sure you have a good chronology. You can tell me you showed up and you tried and you did this and it took forever. You hired the guy on this date, all that sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
What are we talking, 325 and continuing or
No, this one
more?
was 5 days, so from 5:10 to 5:14, so 125 and continuing. But I just want to also just let you know, be diligent in the project docs in the permit review process. So when you come back to the fine mitigation hearing, make sure you're checking your emails for those emails from the permitting department so that things don't sit for weeks and months, because that just delays you even further.
100%.
And sometimes this is so easy, but if you don't see the email,
Of course.
it just sits. So
Yeah.
check your stuff. Okay? 125 plus continuing is granted. The fines will stop when the permit is issued, but you'll come back for a reduction later. Okay?
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. 2 cases down from that, 25-0059, 275 Saratoga Boulevard East, Bastian Viragira Julian. I apologize if I mispronounced.
All right, sir, who are you?
It's Ethan Julian, and I reside at 275 Saratoga Boulevard East.
Okay, go ahead.
Anthony Sandlin, sir, Special Magistrate, I would like to admit the following items in evidence. A previous order finding, Exhibit 1, a previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, photos. And Exhibit 4, an affidavit of compliance.
Okay, good.
And I heard you state your name earlier. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter. Exhibit 1 is the previous order finding violation with the signed certified mail. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing that you own the property. Exhibit 3 is a dated photograph. And Exhibit 4 is the affidavit of compliance. Any objection to these documents?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
All right, admitted without objection. Is this a finding of fact, or is there a fine involved? What's going on here?
Sir, yeah, Special Magistrate, he did come into compliance with it, but it was yesterday. He came into
Okay,
compliance
so he's
yesterday.
probably out for a few days.
A total of 12 days, so we're asking for a fine of $300 and not continuing.
Okay. All right, you were 12 days late, so $25 a day, that's a $300 fine. If it's homestead property, they can't do a thing to it unless you sell it or want to satisfy it someday. Okay? So there'll be a $300 fine on the property, but nothing, I don't know, is this homestead? Can we tell? Is it on the property? It should be on the property appraiser's thing.
Yes, sir, it is
Okay.
homestead.
If it's homestead property, they can't do a thing about it. There'll just be a $300 fine just sort of sitting there. You'll pay it if you want to, or you'll pay it when you sell the house, or, you know, something like that happens, okay?
Yes, all right, kind of new to that. So
Yeah.
you mean it just sits on the home like a
It just
lien
sits-
essentially, or no?
It sits in the public record. So if someone was doing a title search on the property to sell the property, they would say, you have an existing lien of $300. This is no big deal,
Okay,
okay? It doesn't go up any higher because you did fix it, you just fixed it 12 days late,
right.
okay? And if you want to pay it off someday just for kicks, you can go ahead and do that, and they'll do a release of lien for you, and there'll be nothing in the public record,
Okay.
okay?
And then if I wanted to pay it, do I pay it online via check?
If you want to pay it, you have to pay it at their office here at the village, and you can't do it until after I sign the order, and that won't be till like Monday or Tuesday. Okay?
Understood.
Cool. You're done. Thank you very much. You'll get an order in the mail, 300, no continuing.
And a finding of service?
And a finding of service via signed green card in this case.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Next case is the next one down on the agenda, 24-0718, 600 Business Parkway, Royal Palm Beach, FL Propco LLC.
Margaret Hancock, Code Enforcement Officer for the Village, Royal Palm Beach. I'd like to know the following documents and evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
All right, ma'am, who are you?
Hi, I'm Melissa, the administrator.
What's your name?
Soft-spoken, you've got to talk louder, please.
My name is Melissa. I am the administrator.
Melissa what?
Hines, Hines.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the prior order finding violation, the signed certified mails that were returned to sender, the previous order finding violation, page 2 of that order. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing who owns the property. Exhibit 3 is dated photographs of the violations. And Exhibit 4 is the village's permit information. Any objection to these documents being entered?
No.
Thank you.
All right, admitted without objection, so they're missing landscaping and things.
Landscaping things, they need their they're missing. They need their vegetation removal permit, and then to bring back the property as to the plan.
Okay. Hey,
And then they still had a few items over in this area. I'm not sure what this is. Looks like it may be an old ice maker or something.
I don't know, I don't even want to guess.
It's a washing machine.
So and it's used, no good.
It's no good. It's waiting for be picked up.
Yeah.
It was recently changed.
Okay, so that's just trash that they're going to take
Yeah.
out.
But they can't just leave it outside, though. They need to dispose of it.
Okay. That's
And-
the easy part. They'll probably get that done in whatever time. It's more like the lack of plantings according to your site plan or your
Correct.
landscaping plan. Although I got to tell you, for a property in the middle of a drought, it looks pretty good. I mean, it looks decently green in most of the spots.
Thank you.
But, you know, when you apply, or actually when whoever Propco was, and they applied for the building permit, they had to do a site plan, they had to do planting plans.
Correct. So we did submit the permit on 5/1, and I do have the email to show that it was received by the village.
Okay, are they just reviewing it, or have you gotten any comments back saying? they need it?
Originally, when we submitted on 5/1, they did not respond back, so we did follow up with them, and they said to resend it. So we're just waiting for approval from the village.
All right, when did they say to resend it? I'm just trying to get the timeline down.
You looking to?
So it was submitted on 5/1, and then on 5/9, the building permit email stated that please submit a survey or a site plan, and then we sent a follow-up email stating that it was attached to the email, and I have the documentation right here if you would like to review.
I don't know, I'm just trying to make sure everything is progressing along. Okay,
Well,
so she's applying for the permit now, so,
Yeah, your previous order was dated March 17th and required them to comply by 5/1, so they again submitted the
so they
application on
submitted
the...
on the day that they're supposed to comply by.
Is there a reason for that?
Well, there was some back and forth, and Ms. Margaret can attest to that. There was some confusion regarding the vegetation. The permit or the landscape that we received was like a recent one from 2023, I believe. And then we did have a meeting to discuss the site plan that we do have on file, which is from 1983. But Ms. Margaret did mention that as long as we submit the permit to show that we are working to fix the landscape, then we should be fine.
Oh. Right now I see
Well, we
fine
did
instead
meet.
of being in fine, so.
We did meet, and I guess the first landscape plan that I gave them was one that was approved, but then they declined doing those improvements on the property. So with that, I did find the other one, and I took it out to Ms. Hines, as well as that's when I
So you found the one
took
from the
the
80s and you gave it
order
to.
finding violation, and I told her that they need the permit. They have to have the vegetation permit, and they'd be okay, not just submit it. So,
So they still haven't gotten the permit.
yeah, and I believe,
Okay,
did the
but-
landscaper not have to get licensed as well?
Yes, and that was all attached to the email, the license, and then also the permit that we submitted on 5/1.
Okay. Touch late.
Yeah,
but,
because this
you know,
all started back in September
No,
of
that's why I'm saying a
'24.
touch late. I'm not being mean about it or anything. It's just, You could have or you should have been doing it earlier. You'll probably get your permit kicked out of the village here in the next couple of weeks if everything is submitted. So at least that will stop the fine then, right? Is that correct?
That and remove the washing machine and any other miscellaneous items that might be hiding
right,
around the
so-
building.
I'm just trying to make sure that she understands what she needs to get out of trouble. So if you get the permit issued, you get rid of that washing machine and get her to come by and inspect it to make sure, then she'll be good, and whatever miscellaneous items we're talking about.
Yes, but
Okay.
she does also have to make sure that they do follow through with what the permits required.
Well, they'll be in trouble if the permit's not issued. I'm hoping that they get it through after the submittal and resubmittal. So, yeah, I mean, if the resubmittal works, probably only be a couple weeks of fines. It won't be horrible. They can get it all fixed up. All right, what are you talking about in terms of monetary?
This was 13 days. Your prior order required compliance by 5/1, so 13 days at $25 a day, $325 and continuing.
So this doesn't just apply to this case, it applies to everyone in the room. If you've got something you're supposed to do and you've done it, please be proud and call the code enforcement officers so they can come out and do an inspection. I've literally seen people, because I live here in the village, on my way home from a meeting, fixing something. It was actually a front door. And, you know, that's great. I saw it, but if I didn't see it, you know, no one will ever be able to tell them what date it was fixed on. So the second you get that washing machine out of there, give her a call. Let her know that she can come by and look at it to just check that box. And then the only box you're waiting for is the permit to be issued. And when the permit's issued, give her a call, because they don't go to lunch. So that way she'll know when to stop these things. And that way you know if you want to come in for reduction, it'll be a smaller amount to reduce. Okay? Trying to make sure everyone gets the process together. So 325 plus continuing is granted. When she gets the permit and she removes the washer and miscellaneous items, it'll stop.
And
Correct?
did I hear a finding of service, Special Magistrate?
And this finding of service, I believe on this one is, yes, via posting.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Next case is a repeat violation case on page 3, 25-0270. Correction for the agenda, Special Magistrate. The address should be 116 Toledo Street, Progress Residential Borrower 5 LLC.
Code section 06190A, 3 and 5, sidewalk and driveway are stained. Observe the violation on 3/10/25. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing certified mail on 3/12/25. The green card was signed on 3/21/25. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, notice of repeat violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures. Exhibit 5, affidavit of compliance.
Okay. Tell us who you are, sir.
And on behalf of Progress, my address is 1000 Legion Place, Orlando, Florida, 32801.
Okay.
What was your last name, Lipman?
Lipman, yep.
Okay.
Is that 2 T's? 2 P's. Lip. I made you L-I-T-T. Okay.
And are you counsel for them?
Yep.
Okay. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the prior order
Objection.
finding violation. All right, do you want to see them, or?
I've already seen
You've
it.
seen them all. Good.
All right. Admitted without objection. All right. It's like, you're the new Progress person. I haven't seen you yet. We get waves. I've been doing this in the village since like 2009, I believe. And there'll be someone I know. It's like, oh, there's the Progress person. And then for a while, they'll be gone. And then I'll get a different Progress person.
That's a good thing that they're not here.
Yeah, maybe. At least they're sending someone, though, so that's being...
Like, we're not trying to have violations.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we get regular people and they talk to the code officer, it's amazing how many violations don't appear because phone calls are made and things happen. So that's why I'm happy to see a Progress person. All right, so what's going on with this one?
Violation, it was first observed on March 10th and ran through April 3rd, so we're asking for a fine at $50 a day for those 25 days. That's $12.50 and not continue.
All right, Mr. Libman, repeat violation, you don't get warning, you just get tagged.
Understood. We'd ask for a reduction in fine, though.
Unfortunately, that's
I know, it's a
different
mitigation hearing.
so.
I know.
And I don't mind hearing that later, or, well, at some other time, because I don't even have an order to reduce yet, and I haven't signed anything. But-
Understood.
All right, so 1250, no continuing?
Yeah, and just for the record, that's a $50 a day fine, which is significantly less than we could be asking for at $500 per day, because this
Oh,
is a repeat
very-
violation.
This is we want compliance jurisdiction. You can tell because I have other people who would be $250 a day, minimum.
Yep.
You know, so much.
I want to point out it's a small
Yeah,
fine, so
it's
when
a
he comes back,
small-
he can come back for mitigation, but we're starting at a very small fine.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's worth the ride from Orlando if you're really there. All right, so 1,250, no continuing, it's granted. You'll get
Thank
it.
you.
If you want a copy of the order sent to you too, you need to give a card to Ms. Hancock there, or she'll give you a card, and you can contact her. Because I get to send it, they get to send it to whoever they're supposed to on the
Thank you.
property owner's address on the tax collector's roll, so sometimes that gets sent to a mailroom and it may not surface for a while.
Is there a finding of service, Special Magistrate?
Yes, there was a finding of service on this one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sir.
Have a good evening.
Next, we're going to violation hearings, top of page 4, case 25-0237-1226 Carousel Way, William Douglas III and William Douglas Jr. Holloway Jr.
Special Magistrate, the code sections are 15-132 and 6-19835. Bare spots in the swell, stained driveway, driveway apron, and sidewalk. I observed the violation on 2/26/25. The notice of violation, a notice of hearing was sent certified mail on 2/28/25 and posted. I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation and notice of hearing with an affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
William Holloway, Jr.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the notice of violation and the notice of hearing. Notice of violation. Notice of hearing for tonight's hearing. And this is the returned certified mail that we got back. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing that you own the property. Exhibit 3 is dated photographs of the violation. Any objection to these documents being entered?
No.
Thank you.
Without objection. Service via posting, just because I know you're going to ask me later. All right. Now, did he resod that area that he was driving over? I'm trying to figure that out from these pictures.
A lot of it has been sodded. You can see they're still missing that patch. The driveway and the driveway apron and the sidewalk have been cleaned. So
Okay.
that'll be a finding of fact. But the remaining item is the bare spot in the swale.
Yeah, it doesn't help to have a car parked in the front yard either.
No, it doesn't help.
'Cause that
Contrary to what
that
you
would be
may,
another
contrary to what
violation.
you and me might believe, getting sod is not that easy in the middle of a drought. So we did try to comply as fast as we could. As soon as I was able to get the sod and dirt delivered, we installed it.
Yeah, well, the good news is it seems like it's starting to rain. It'll rain for the next 8
Yeah.
months.
Yeah,
So
the-
it's a good time to put some sod down.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I don't think I can comply you until you do. So,
And just for your agenda, Special Magistrate, as Officer Armienti said, 06190A35 is a finding of fact. That's the Stein drivewalk, driveway apron and sidewalk. 1532, we're asking for compliance by 529 or appearance at the July 9th fine hearing or a $25 a day fine.
all right, what are the odds of you getting another pallet of sod by the end of the month?
I'm sorry, I did not hear you.
What are the odds of you getting another pallet of sod by the end
Well,
of the month?
that was a full pallet. That's just as far as it went. And we went ahead and bought 10 more bags of soil and put grass seed in it to cover it up. We have to wait and see what it's going to take.
And unfortunately, the grass seed is not very great.
Special Magistrate, for the swale area, sodding is required.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I grass seeded part of my backyard, and these lovely little Bermuda shoots came up and then they died.
No, I understand. It's
I'm just trying to.
It is.
I'm trying to get you enough time to get the rest of it done since you've done half of it, because you're working on it, and people who work on it deserve more, so. They're saying
It's
the
less
end
than
of
half, right?
May, and are you going to need a little more time?
Yes.
All right. because he's
But it
got
is less
of
than
it
half, right?
done.
It's only a 6-foot area,
Okay,
right, we're talking about.
all right.
Is that accurate, sir?
I can't really measure things. I'm not really good at, I'm a golfer. That looks like a bigger than a 6-foot putt. Okay?
Yeah, we do what we can. I mean, we've had some issues with the neighbor's tree. We've also had some issues with the city. The city has drains blocked up for a long time.
Yeah,
And
all I'm trying to do is solve one problem that's sitting there and giving you enough time to do this without, leaving it bad. And the thing I look at is you've sodded most of it. So I want to give you enough time to sod the rest of it.
okay,
Let's give them a little more time. Let's give them till the July hearing. I kind of want to do it like the day before the June almost, if we're trying to keep it that way.
Setting it for the July 9th hearing, but how about June 10th? That gives him a month.
Got it, 6:10?
Is that it's your decision, Special Magistrate, but is that
Yeah.
acceptable?
I'll take it 6:10.
Okay.
We'll give you a month to get the rest of it in, and that way you won't have any problems.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Granted.
I'm
Next.
sorry, was there a judgment on the fines, or what?
There's no fines to be done until after after June 10th.
Thank
If you have it all done, and call them to make sure, okay, that they see it. Thank you. Next,
Same
please.
page, second from the bottom, 25-0260, 123 Nottingham Road, Brian T. and Stephanie Hagan.
So we're in Sherwood Forest with a tree.
This would be code section 15141 for the dead tree. I observed the violation on 3/7/25. Certified mail was mailed out on 3/7/25 and returned back on 3/14/25. I would like to admit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, photos. And Exhibit 4, an affidavit of compliance.
Okay, hopefully this will be easy.
Brian Hagan.
Stephanie Hagan.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, the notice of hearing for tonight's hearing, and the signed certified mail. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing that you own the property. Exhibit 3, dated photographs of the violation. And Exhibit 4 is an affidavit of compliance. Any objection to these documents?
No.
No.
All right, admitted without objection. Is it a finding of fact?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to enter what's known as a finding of fact, which means don't let your trees die again. Okay, you'll be fine.
All right. The trees aren't dead, though.
No, well, the one tree was a stick.
All right.
So and I actually let one of those slide for a little while one year because there was a, woodpecker nest in it or something. I gave a little extra time for the babies to get out, but you've chopped it down already, so you're fine.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you.
So you get a order in the mail saying, don't let any more dead trees invade your yard.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
And a finding of service on that
Finding
one?
of fact is granted. Service is via signed green card on this one.
Thank you. Next, page 5, second one from the bottom, case 25-0133, 282 Sandpiper Avenue, Jerome Jeffrey.
Code Section 622, 108.4, work without a permit. I observed this violation on 2/10/25, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on the 2/11/25, and it was signed on 2/14/25. Like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information. And it's hard to see, Special Magistrate, but what it is inside the garage door here, they built a room inside the garage, and you can see the door here. But Mr. Jerome is working on getting a permit.
Okay.
Jerome Jeffrey?
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, the notice of hearing for tonight's hearing, and a signed certified mail. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing that you own the property. Exhibit 3 is dated photographs of the violation. And Exhibit 4 is the village's permit information. Any objection to these documents being entered?
No.
All right, admitted without objection. Service via signed green card. All right, so we're just here on the work without a permit. His dead tree got removed.
Yes.
So I actually read some of the stuff. All right, so, and he's working on the permit he submitted.
I believe he submitted or is submitting. Yes, he did submit.
Yes, sir. I did submit it, and then the guys who came and did a surveyor, they went to somebody else's house and did a surveyor there. So they got to come back and redo another surveyor.
Oh, you need a survey?
For the elevation,
Oh, okay. That's silly.
because he may have to raise the floor.
The floor is already raised, so.
Yeah, well,
Survey will confirm that.
so you've got to get a surveyor to confirm that you've raised the garage floor to the house level?
Correct, because garages are typically built lower, and that's not habitable space. It has to be brought up for floodplain reasons.
And not just that, but my house is on top of a hill, so it's not.
Well, that's, yeah, I think it's kind of overkill, but okay. Yeah, it is the rules.
I said I already paid for it. The guy just came out, but he went to the wrong house and the wrong surveyor. So they just finally got back to me today after me calling, hey, what's going on with my paperwork? And then they finally sent it. It's 292 Sandpiper. I'm 282.
Oh.
So they did the wrong house.
All right. But he has filed, right? And he's in the process of getting things together so we can get it.
Correct, he's in the process.
All right, so,
We're asking for compliance by June 26th on this one, or
great,
appearance at
that's
the
exactly what I was looking for.
July 9th fine hearing, or $25 a day fine.
Good. Okay, so they gave you until the end of June to get your permit issued.
Is it possible to have a little more time? Just because I'm also having, I just got out of the military recently. And once I got out, I had the same issue. I had to replace my roof with my windows, cars, everything. So I'm kind of tight on cash. So the work is already done inside the garage already. And when we did the math, it was like $2,200 to pay for the permits and everything. So I don't know if we get some more time with that.
Okay. How about 7/9/8, or 7/8.
7/7?
Well, if I'm going to give him 7 and do the hearing in August, I might as well give him a good chunk of July. So let's do somewhere near the end of July and then the August hearing.
July 31st for the 8/13 hearing,
Thank you for your service.
Thank you very much, sir.
and
All right,
$25 a
and
day.
a $25 a day fine and service via signed green card. All right, 7/31/8/13/25 is granted.
Thank you.
Just keep following up on the permit, check your emails in case they have something. Sometimes they just need a silly little something from you to get it.
I do check it, sir. As I said, the information they keep on sending from the survey is wrong, so that's why I really can't really update the system. 'Cause
Yeah,
it
well,
wouldn't
I'm
be
just
correct.
giving you a little time to raise some money to pay for it, too.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Next, page 6, middle of the page, 25-0189, 10481 Acme Road, TLH 26 Giles LLC.
Code section 06191, 6194, 6189, 142, 1253, 1557, 1556, 9-42. Unsafe structure, graffiti on structure, fence in disrepair, trash and debris on property, property not maintained, grass and weeds exceed height allowed.
Your name, sir?
Stepenke?
All right, Chris, is that a K or a C, Chris?
C.
And could you please spell your last name?
Yes, D-E, capital B-E-H-N-K-E.
All right, and what is your position with TLH 26 Giles LLC?
I'm the owner's rep.
Okay.
And did you need to get some more on the record?
Yes, I did. This was observed on 2/18/25, sent out notice of violation and notice of hearing certified mail on 2/20/25, and posted on the property as well as the construction trailer. I'd like to know the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, these are the exhibits that the village would like to enter in to the record. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the notice of violation and notice of hearing. That's a copy of the certified mail receipt. The certified mail came back unclaimed. This is the notice of violation. The notice of hearing for tonight's hearing. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership, showing who owns the property. Exhibit 3 are dated photographs of the violations. Any objection to the documents being entered into the record?
Not at all.
Thank you.
All right. I kind of like this one. You know, the other guys are just tagging their names. At least this one got some sense of
Now
style.
they're writing on this side of the house too, you know?
Well, they had to tag their name on one side, you know, before they did their art. All right, so where is this stuff? Is this off of Southern?
On Southern Boulevard, yeah.
Yeah, right behind the Loews?
I know,
that thing?
yes.
Yeah, it used to be Horseland.
Did-
And I was always wondering, did they buy those, and why haven't they knocked them down?
Right now, we're in the process. We just did the asbestos, and we're going to put the permit in by the end of the week. And tomorrow, I'm going to put up orange fence around those houses.
Yeah, they'll just jump it and tag it some more. There's so little taggable room in Royal Palm.
We're the spot.
Yeah, you are it, and it's nicely deserted out there. I kind of remember driving through and going, oh, look, they're starting to do stuff.
Yeah.
So,
We were asking if we could have 60 days. We have the company that's going to demo them, but they indicated to us that they have to bring equipment from another job. And we were
well, if they get a demo permit, will that get you in? Or no?
No, the structures have to come down.
Have to come down,
and
they have to be cleaned up.
Right. All the violations have to be cured, not just the house.
Oh, I understand. I mean, I'm sure it'll take care of what looks like a chair laying upside down in front of the house.
The demo company is going to be taking all the stuff,
Okay.
all the debris in the demo, and we will be able to mow it without breaking our machines.
Well, you can mow it still. I mean,
If you see, we
They
went up
did
to
mow a
certain
little bit.
point.
There are still some high spots, but it's a lot better than what it was.
yeah, I'm just looking at the,
As you can see,
unsafe
like,
structure, graffiti on structure. It's really, you're sort of whatever on that one. I'm just trying the trash and debris on property, grass and weeds exceed height. You know, at least if they cleaned it up and they cut all the grass.
I'm concerned about the buildings being unsafe.
Yeah, well, we call that an attractive nuisance in the law. And some kids are going to go in there and hurt themselves and sue you. That's what the attractive nuisance part is. So if it's open to be abused and used, it's going to be, and it's a problem.
So he's asking for 60 days. We were asking for compliance by 6/26. Just so the record is clear, we've been talking about these houses for quite some time.
Oh, it's
And he knows that this project is a long history here, so I don't think our timelines are too far off, though.
No, you're not. 6/26/79.
We can bump it to 7/7 to give him just about the 60 days that he's asking for from today.
We would appreciate it.
7/79. How many dollars?
It's $250 a day fine, just to make sure that, as this is a life safety issue.
There's a motivational fine involved here.
Correct.
So you get to motivate your demo peeps to show up and do this because, I'm a village resident, as I said, and I've only lived here since '93, and I had clients back there in the little ranches parts of these things. And, kind of sad watching all the horselands getting taken away, but those like 2 or 3 places right on the edge of the road. You know, they've needed to be demoed for years.
I apologize for that, and
So,
we're vigilantly.
so
going to do that.
7-7, or you'll be here at the 7-9 hearing and face a $250 a day fine. So get her done.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Cases.
Oh, well, we'll deal with the next couple. Is that the next 3?
Yes.
Okay.
The next case, and Special Magistrate, on that prior case, was there a finding on service?
Yeah, service via posting.
Thank you, sir. Case 25-0190-10465 Acme Road, Main Street at Total Royale LLC.
Code Sections 14.2, 1253, 1557, 1556, debris and trash on property, grass and weeds exceed height allowed, not maintaining property. I observed this violation on 2/18/25, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 2/20/25, and posted them to the property and the construction trailer. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Same thing as before, these are the exhibits that the village would like to enter. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the notice of violation and notice of hearing, the notice of violation itself, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing who owns the property. Exhibit 3, dated photograph of the violation. Any objection to these documents?
None at all.
Thank you.
All right, admitted without objection. This one looks like someone needs a bush hog, buddy.
Yeah, this property does not have a house on it, but it does have debris on it
Yeah, I'd say.
and the high grass.
And the high grass and the debris. All right, this one's the one they can take care of a little bit easier. It doesn't look like you have a structure to play with or anything like that. So,
We're asking for the same 626, but you can do 7-7 if you want. I think they can do this faster, but we were asking for comply by 626 or the 7-9 fine hearing or $100 a day fine.
yeah, I want them to do this one a little faster. I mean, I understand with the demo permit, and we'll probably do the same dates with the next unsafe structure one, but this one you can get mowed and just give a call, and then you'll be out of it.
Yep.
Of the debris,
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I can.
pile debris.
yeah, a little pile there. Yeah, we can't burn things in Florida right now since we're
No.
still in a drought, unless we want to burn Florida. So, all right, 62679, 100 on that one,
And a finding of service.
and a finding of service via posting like the last one.
Thank you.
And the next one is going to be another unsafe structure one, and kind of know how that's
Dash.
going to go.
0191-10397 Acme Road, Main Street at Tuttle Royale LLC.
Code Section 6191, 6194, 6189, 14.2, 1253, 1557, 1556. Unsafe structure, structure has graffiti on it, grass and weeds exceed height allow, trash and debris on property. Observed the violation on 2/18/25, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 2/20/25, posted it to the property and the construction trailer as well. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Same thing, you're still the same person, correct?
Yep.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the notice of violation and the notice of hearing. That's just a copy of the signed certified mail that went out. That came back to us as return to sender. This is the notice of violation. This is the notice of hearing for tonight's hearing. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing who owns the property.
Yep.
And Exhibit 3 is a dated photograph of the violation. Any objection to these documents?
None at all.
All right, admitted without objection. I was just thinking, imagine how that would look if we weren't in a drought. It would actually be big. All right, so this is another structure one. Are we just going to do 7779 250?
Yes, sir.
Please.
Be consistent with ourselves. 7779 250. Look for you.
And a
Granted.
finding of service?
And the finding of service via the same way, once again posting.
Thank you.
And last but not least, or do we have another one on the next page?
Nope, one more. 25-0192, 10355 Acme Road, TLH 26 Giles LLC.
Code Section 061, or 6191, 6194, 6189, 14.2, 1253, 1557, 1556. Unsafe structure, graffiti on structure, debris and trash on property, property not maintained, grass and weeds exceed height allowed. Observe this violation on 2/18/25. Send out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 2/20/25. Posted on the property in the construction trailer as well. Like to know those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Same thing as before, you're still the same person. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the notice of violation and the notice of hearing. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing who owns the property. And Exhibit 3 is a dated photograph. Any objections to these documents?
None at all.
Deja vu all over again. All right. Admitted without objection, service via posting, 7779250 is granted.
Thank you, sir.
All right, take care. Don't forget that little mow one's a little earlier than the other ones, so
Yes.
give her a call when you get it mowed because it's going to start raining someday. Okay, thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
sir.
Next, page 7 in the middle, case 25-0215, 9960 Belvedere Road, GAM Commercial LLC.
Code Section 2021-2041, 15144, 15141, 1571, 2661G, 622-108.4, and 2657. Prohibited signage on and around the building, signs without permits, prohibited permits, artificial turf installed without permits, remove vegetation without vegetation removal permit, canopy without permit. I observed this violation on 2/20/25, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 2/24/25, met with the owner on 2/28/24, or 25 on site. I'd like to enter following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
Your name, sir,
Martinez,
and your relation to the LLC?
I'm the owner. Okay,
That the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation.
okay.
Exhibit 2 is the notice of hearing for tonight's hearing. Excuse me, that's Exhibit 1. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing who owns the property. Exhibit 3 are dated photographs of the violations. And Exhibit 4 is the village's permit information. Any objection to
Okay.
these documents?
No.
Okay.
All right, admitted without objection.
These are those pictures?
Yeah, well,
So-
you can do.
So I can make sure I give it to the sign company, make sure they
Sure,
got everything
contact code
covered.
enforcement, and if we can't get them that way, we'll do a public records request. But yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so how do we have service?
Pardon?
Service?
I met with him, and we went over the whole violation.
Okay, so you have actual service
28,
on your meeting, gotcha.
yes,
Okay, just making sure.
real live service.
So, yeah, 2/28/25, we had the meeting on site, and we still have issues.
Yeah, I'm in the process. We submitted the signage permits on Monday, the sign company. And then the landscaping, actually today, he's putting it through the portal because he was going back and forth on what we can do, what we can't do. But I'm moving as fast as I can to get everything done.
Yeah. Lot of signs here.
A lot of the signs won't be permittable. You'll have to remove a lot of
No
them.
problem.
Yeah. I mean,
And then you
business
still
owners
need the
think signs
permit
are the
for the
greatest things in the
canopy.
world.
We're getting that submitted. That's already submitted on Monday.
The ball things will probably have to be removed or permitted.
The what? I'm so-
The
sorry.
balls, the big blue balls here.
Okay,
I
Okay.
didn't notice them before.
okay.
And then all the, the landscape issues.
I can take care of that. Yep.
Yep, we're about to
Way
hit
too many signs.
hurricane season and canopies fly.
The signs on the windows still.
Yeah, I'm gonna remove those. He said,
still turf.
wait, let me see if I can get that approved, but obviously he can't, so I'm gonna remove them.
There's a certain percentage you can do on a window,
Yeah.
and you seem to have percentage way past that.
15%.
There's
Yeah.
15% on the windows, and this is way past it.
Yeah.
And I don't even have to break out a calculator to do that part. So, yeah, business owners love
I know.
signs and feather
Trying to
flags and all
advertise,
that stuff,
trying
and
to-
they think, and I kind of, sort
Yeah.
of shut it all down. It's like,
Shade, too.
yeah,
Inside, and you can still see out from the inside out.
not the point. The
Yeah, I
point
know.
is, it's not like, this isn't like the digital yellow pages where you can put whatever you want up there. It's
It's just a visual
It's a
thing.
bit overkill. Now, here's an entrance sign, here's this sign, here's that sign. You're probably going to get most of these
Everywhere.
removed.
Yeah.
All right, what timing are we talking about?
We're asking for compliance by June 26th, their appearance at the July 9th fine hearing, or $25 a day fine.
Okay.
Take care of it. We should have it all done by then.
626, 7925 is granted. Thank you very much, sir.
Fine mitigation hearings on page 8.
I was wondering what the rest of the room was for.
First one is 12, and there's 2 cases. Do you want me to read them both, Special Magistrate, or?
It's up to you.
Okay. I'll read them both, and I'll ask.
Actually, I'm trying to figure out, I think we have like 3 people that came in that haven't been sworn yet. I think it's that guy there.
Well, he just came in, so we don't hear the
That
people
guy
who didn't
there.
sign in.
And, yeah, that. Okay, well, I don't care about the sign-in part. I just care about the swearing in.
Do you want to swear everybody in now, then?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I've got 3 or 4. We might as well take care of that. Everyone who wasn't sworn in the first time, please raise your right hand, say, "I do," when we're done. Does everyone new swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Say, "I do." There we go. Thank you very much. All right, we have sworn again.
Thank
Everyone
you.
I can see is sworn in.
We'll
Okay.
start with the first one. It's 12-1545, 10103 Penzance Lane, Daime Machado.
Come on down.
I'd like to submit the following documents and evidence. Exhibit 1 is the fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2 is the order assessing fine. Exhibit 3 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 4 is the affidavit of compliance.
And the fine amount in this case, Special Magistrate, is $950
One or the second one?
for the first one. The second case, 22-1798, 10103 Penzance Lane, Daime Machado. Go ahead and read that one in.
Special Magistrate would like to submit the following documents and evidence. Exhibit 1 is the fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2 is the order assessing fine. Exhibit 3 is the verification of ownership. Exhibit 4 is the affidavit of compliance.
Okay, and how much is that one?
It's $775.
They're small ones. I was expecting 150,000. No. I've seen them. All right. It's an easy question I ask everyone in the fine mitigation case when it comes. Why should the fine be reduced?
And first, what is your name?
My name is Daime Valdez. My married name is Machado. So I would like to, can you do 25% of the total?
Why? I said,
Why?
Why? You got to give me a little story before I try
Okay.
to reduce.
I can give you a lot of stories.
I don't want the super long version.
So the one from 2012, I can't tell you that I remember that one.
I probably can't either, but it's
My
all good.
ex-husband used to take care of everything in the house, and I was not aware of it. I just got a letter recently. The other one, the 2022, the driveway, absolutely. I had some friends to do what I thought was not according to, well, that I didn't need a permit for it. It was just like pavers, like 2 sets of pavers going in, and I thought it was gonna be okay. Then I got the violation, and as soon as I got the violation, I went to get the permit, and I did the driveway within a few weeks. So that one, I did what I had to do.
Okay.
The first one,
The first one is just the ex didn't tell you about it and you didn't know until
there
they
was a lot
said
of
you
things
had a
that the
fine.
ex did not say.
Okay, and what is the village's position with regards to these?
So because of the fine amounts, we're opposing reduction, only because it's going to cost us more money than actually one of these fines to have the liens released. And that doesn't include the prior violation hearings and fine assessment hearings that the village has paid actual costs to have and have hearings on.
What is the actual cost to have them released, approximately?
To have them released is $250, but that doesn't include the two prior hearings. So we would ask that they not be reduced any further than 500, but in each case, because.
500 each, is that
Right.
what you're saying? Because you have hard costs to deal with?
And that realistically doesn't even cover the actual cost.
That barely
but- right.
covers the cost, probably doesn't even cover your full fee.
500 each?
Sorry, it's not like, oh, we can wave a wand. They have to go do a release of lien, they have to file it.
First, we have to draft this order.
Yeah, we got to do
Then-
this order.
Then
Yeah.
it gets paid, then it gets released, then it gets recorded at the courthouse.
You know, it's not like, oh, yeah, it's just we wave a wand. It's like there are actual costs involved because your ex-husband ignored this and then because you had to wait to get a permit. So you want it or you don't?
I mean, I'm saving, $200.
Well, you're saving $450 on the first one and $370 or $275 on the second one. If you don't want to, I'll deny them and we can go on.
No, I do want to save money, absolutely.
So 500 on both, each on these cases by when? Because I need a specific date.
How long do I have to pay this?
Well, we usually give a date 30 to 60 days out. Is that, so give me a date 60 days out.
60 days is July 14th. Can you pay it by then? Because the liens go back. If you don't pay by that time, the liens revert back to the original amount.
I
and you
want to
can
pay
only.
it, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'll figure it out.
15. Okay, 500 by 714 on 12-1545, and 500 by 714 on 22-1798.
Do I come here to pay it, or do I get
Yes,
a
you
letter?
do, but you can't do it until I sign an order, so it won't.
Okay, so next week I can come and pay.
Yeah, I usually sign orders Monday or Tuesday, so sometime after that. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Next case is 21-0459-1356 Thornbank Lane, Moses R. and Rosaline M. Rahan.
Special Magistrate would like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2 is the order assessing fine. Exhibit 3 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 4 is the affidavit of compliance.
All right, tell us who you are.
Our contractor gave us wrong information. He said
Start with your name. What's your name?
Moses Rajan.
And her name?
Rajan.
Okay, thank you. And Special Magistrate, just for your notes, the fine amount in this case is $10,775.
Okay. So, now you get to tell the story.
Okay, our contractor gave wrong information. He said that we don't need a permit. He does a lot of work in West Palm. So he went ahead and did it. And then the village gave us a notice. And then he couldn't sign on to the computer. He tried to get a permit, and it took us 4 months for him to, and then he quit. So we had to get a new computer, and then COVID came in. I could not get an architect to come and redo the design. She won't come out because she said that it's too dangerous. And I had to wait 8 months to get another drawing. So it's, I have been doing my best. I came to the office almost every day. There was a girl there who knows that every day I came to tell her what's happening. And it was beyond my control.
Well, first I wouldn't trust the guy who told you didn't need a permit to go get you a permit.
Yeah,
Then he stopped and he didn't get you the permit, so you had to get somebody else to get you the permit. So that was your first mistake. I mean, you relied on the liar.
Yes.
So I
sorry.
cannot impute that information or that to the village. What is the village's position on this?
We're not opposing reduction. We'd be willing to reduce it to $2,897.64 payable by July 14th.
Okay. All right, I'm inclined to go with the village's position because you kind of brought this on your own. And then, you relied on the guy who lied to you to do it, and then you had to get somebody else to do it. So I will grant the $2,897.64 by July 14th. That's basically 70% off in my crude attorney math. And if you don't pay it by the 14th, it goes back to the $10,775.
What date? 14th?
The 14th of July.
Of July.
That gives you almost 2 months. Well, actually, a little bit more. 2 months and a day.
2 months exactly.
Well, I guess, yeah. All right.
So
Do we get
You'll get an order in the mail probably sometime at the end of next week, and you can deal with it then. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Top of page 9, case 21-1532-10130 Mikado Lane, Yamilka Fonseca Maurice, and Roberto V. Cavedo Aguilera.
I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2 is the order assessing fine. Exhibit 3 is the verification of ownership. Exhibit 4 is the affidavit of compliance.
Okay.
Amount in this one is $2,400.
All right, so tell us who you are.
no speak English, she translated.
¿Qué es su nombre?
Roberto Aguilera.
Okay.
And her name?
Jessica
Jessica Aguilera?
Aguilera.
All right. Why should the fine be reduced? ¿Por qué se reduce? I'm trying to practice my Spanish again. No.
¿Por qué tengo que pagar menos?
All right, so why should the fine be reduced, Jessica?
¿Por qué debo pagar menos? Que creo que debería pagar menos. ¿No?
¿Por qué tú quieres pagar menos?
Porque quiero que me ayude a ver si puedo pagar menos. Dile así, ¿se ve?
He said he wants you to help him to pay less. Pero él no está
Well, that's good, but do I have a reason? I mean, I'll take almost any reason.
Tienes razón.
I'm kind of easy on these. All right, do you have a number? ¿Tiene un número?
¿De teléfono?
A phone number?
Number of fine, a reduced fine amount.
¿Qué tú quieres pagar? What do you want to pay?
Como 500 o menos, no sé. Dile así.
505,000.
No, 25%.
25%.
All right, what does the village think?
We're not opposing reduction in this case. We'd be willing to reduce it to $1,335.06 payable by July 14th. Just like the prior case, these are unpermitted structures. These are,
Yeah, it was just a fence, though. I mean,
in a hurricane, that's a problem.
Yeah, believe me, there are enough permitted fences in the village that are going to go down during a hurricane. All right. What's the date on the 7/14 again?
Yes, sir.
I'll drop it to $1,000 by 7/14.
And can you make sure that it's relayed to him, Special Magistrate, that if he doesn't pay by that date, it goes back, just so they know that they only get one opportunity for fine mitigation? So
Talk to Jessica.
can you explain to him that if that fine amount isn't paid by the required date, the fine amount goes back up to the original amount, and you can't come back? Correct. And you can't come back to another hearing like this and request mitigation. You get one reduction, so he needs to pay it by that date.
¿Cómo se pagaría? ¿Qué?
Okay, $1,000 by 7/14, granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is 21-0427, 197 Sandpiper Avenue, Melissa L. King and Mario J. Ledesma.
together and did the same things in 2021, huh? I'm just like, it's striking. It's like, oh, yeah.
Push the button. Yep.
Exhibit 1, fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2, previous order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
All right, tell us who you are.
Brian Albaum, I'm counsel.
All right, Brian, will you please spell your last name for us?
Albaum, and it's Brian with an I.
And Melissa King.
All right.
And the fine amount, special magistrate, in this case is $15,475.
Ooh. Cool. All right, I suspect counsel will tell me why the fine should be reduced.
Your Honor, they got swindled. Unfortunately, they had a friend that they played softball with that said they could replace the fence, said they would do it all permitted and everything properly. It turns out they didn't get the permits, didn't do anything properly. When Melissa got the notice, she reached out to the contractor. They said they were going to take care of it. When they got the second notice, no, we're going to the hearing. We're going to solve it. We have the permits. We're doing everything we can. I have text messages regarding all of this, confirming all of this. Even when the last hearing came, it was, there's no need to attend. They specifically said, we have this. There's no need to attend. I can show the text messages if you'd like. My clients, unfortunately, weren't aware of the fine. About a year and a half later, they were redoing their fence again because the construction of the original fence was poor. That's when they found out about the code violation. They spent $6,200 to install a new fence and get it properly permitted. They've engaged in litigation against the prior contract due to the fence and multiple issues, have had filed complaints with the DVPR against their license. There's just a whole ton of factors, personal factors. They just had a child. They've had other family emergencies and other issues that have come up and any mitigation. But, they were completely told, we're handling this, we're getting everything done. They did everything they needed to and had no idea that this was going on until they had to fix the fence that was, improperly done to begin with.
Makes me very glad that I'm handy and I can do my own fence work.
It makes me glad I don't own a fence.
Yeah. Any objection, counsel? Admitted without objection. So do you have a judgment?
We do.
Probably worth the paper it's written on?
Yeah. That's why we're going after the DVPR complaints.
Yep. Okay, we're going to put that in evidence.
Thank you.
Defendant's composite number 1 is admitted into evidence. All right, so do you have a number in mind?
I mean, as low as possible, we would request, $1,000, the cost that they've, incurred to release it in the prior hearings.
What does the village say?
So we're not opposing reduction. Again, this is a structure without a permit, a fence without a permit, so the gravity of the violation is something you should consider.
One of the things I get to consider is they replaced the bad fence with a new fence for $6,200. So they've suffered a bit.
That's right, and as I said, we're not opposing, so our number is $3,837.64 payable by July 14th.
Well, I got to tell you, I've been doing this for going on 16 years now and never had this one thrown at me, but I like it. It's good. And I like your keeping all these messages.
Yeah.
It's good.
They've done a great job, keeping the evidence once they realize everything happened.
1,000 by 714 is granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have a bunch more people in here. Are they fine reductions? Or they can't all be
More
fine reductions.
fine reduction hearing.
We've also got cases, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They signed in late.
Yeah, so you could pick whatever, way you want to do this. You can go back to the beginning and start over. You
I'd
can.
like to hear the last fine mitigation
She
case
wants to hear the last fine mit. We'll do the last fine mit.
for the people who showed up after the sign-in sheet was
Okay.
removed. So it's 22-0471, 303 Las Palmas Street, Hector B. and Rosemary Pert.
Documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, letter request and fine mitigation. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Do you remember it being this much exercise?
And the fine amount in this one is, special magistrate is $11.50.
All right, tell us who you are.
Hector Peart.
Rosemary Peart.
All right. You've heard the question before. Why should the fine be reduced?
We did not know anything about the lien or the violation, because when we got the notice, the car was removed within a couple of weeks after. And so the car was gone. We didn't know anything about having this lien or the fine.
You hear them keep asking about service, right?
Yes.
Council keeps asking about service. And service is, how are you notified? And on each of these cases, you had to be notified either by certified mail or by posting on the property. And you also heard me say that once you fix one of these things, you have to call. And that is the only bold part of my orders that I signed. In page 2, it says, upon something like upon repair, whatever, you have to notify them. So you're saying you fixed it fast, but you didn't tell anybody? I mean, I'm trying to get your defense.
Correct.
Why didn't you tell anybody? Did you expect them to be like paying attention to you and nobody else in the world?
No, we didn't expect that, but we thought by the car being gone, because it was in the driveway,
So you just ignore the part of my order that said you got to call. I mean, that's what I'm getting to the point of. You could have fixed this yourself eons ago if you would have done what you were supposed to do, which was read and report. And it's in the orders. I mean, it's in the second order they mailed out to you with the fine. If you fix it, call for an inspection.
So, okay, again, I'm not sure that I did see
They were posted on your property or I wouldn't go forward. That's why every one of these cases, they ask me or I ask them, how are these people served? Because my job up here basically is to provide due process. And due process is defined as notice and an opportunity to be heard. It doesn't mean that you actually need to be heard, but it does mean you need to be notified. And even the one where I asked Ms. Hancock there, how do we have service? And she said, we met with the person on February 28th on the site, and he nodded his head. So he knew that she had talked to him about this case and that he had to appear. Otherwise, when I say posting, they posted it on your property, which means they taped it to your door. So unless this is a tenant property where the tenant hid it from you, arguing that you never heard this is not a great argument before me.
Special magistrate, this was a repeat violation. The fine
And it's
amount is
also
for
a repeat violation, too. So all those things don't really stack up good for you, what I'm saying. So what do you think the fine should be reduced to?
as possibly, if anything.
Well, the if anything part's not going to work. You don't have a number.
Up to this point, Your Honor, I don't know what the lien is, because I have a letter here that was sent to us in the mail that just says that there's a lien on the property.
See, I try to go above and beyond most people in granting these things. and you're just arguing yourself way out of this. I mean, the lien was for the disabled vehicle. Period. Right?
Yes.
And why are you telling me then you don't know what the lien is for?
I didn't say, I mean, I don't know how much, that's
Well,
what I
the
meant.
lien was that much because you didn't read the order and call. That's the simple part. What's the village's position?
I think he's saying that he doesn't know what the fine amount is. The fine amount is $1,150.
Well, he didn't know how much it was because, he didn't pay attention because he thought it was clear.
I have a letter here that just says there's a lien on the property. It didn't, that's all it says.
If you paid attention to either of the two prior notices, you would have known what it was.
Just one thing, nothing, no figures or anything. As a matter of fact, can I say something?
No, I don't care about the amount. The amount doesn't mean anything to me. I've had amounts of hundreds of thousands of dollars. It doesn't matter. It's the question is, what have you done to fix the problem and why should the fine be reduced? $1,150 fine for a disabled unused vehicle that you moved, but you didn't tell anybody.
Well,
So do you have any proof of when you moved it? Do you have pictures that are dated? Do you have anything?
Yes, I do.
Because, I'm a trial attorney. I have to go to court and prove things. I just can't walk up in front of a jury and say, this happened on that date. I have to have someone tell me that this happened on that date.
Yeah, when I went to hearing it stopped.
I have to have a reason.
Seen on 315.
Special Magistrate, just so we're clear about when the fine stopped, your previous order was an order finding repeat violation and assessing fine that imposed a fine of $1,150, so the fine amount that we're talking about tonight. So at the time of that hearing, where you imposed that order, the fine had already stopped.
Right.
So
So you had figured it out because the,
15th to April 7th, and that was in
and the
advance
hearing
of
date was when?
April 13th, 2022.
So
So
they even
it's not a
figured it
debate
out.
about when the fine stopped.
And a question of that, they figured it out because you were a repeat violator, and it happened again. So, all right, what's the village's position?
It's a repeat violation, and again, the fine amount is
It's going to be just barely more than your cost of doing this, and it's not the normal violation, fine assessment hearing, repeat violation,
we typically oppose repeat violation hearings.
and fine assessment hearing. Yep. And they were able to determine that you had removed the vehicle by the next hearing. Yeah.
The fine didn't run after the hearing. I just wanted to make sure you understood
The fine didn't run
that.
after the hearing because, and did they show up for the hearing? Does it
They
say
did not.
appeared?
They did not,
Didn't even show up for that hearing.
right? Yeah, they were not present.
No.
So here I am, just stuck. Because what you have done is not helped. You know, I want a reduction because I want a reduction. Do we have a reason?
The hearing that we missed, Your Honor, I apologize, I didn't get a notice for that hearing.
Okay, $1,000 by 714. I bent over backwards just to take off $150, because you should have been noticed for all of these, and you just didn't show up until now.
Get a notice.
Not that they shouldn't have been, and I don't want to relitigate the service on the prior cases, but there were signed certified mails in both instances. So it's not that they should have been noticed. They were noticed. You wouldn't have ruled in the village's favor. You wouldn't have signed orders if there wasn't service.
Notice. You signed green cards. You ignored the envelopes. I should deny this. I gave you $150 off. If you don't want it, that's fine. You cannot pay it. It'll stay at $1,150. 1,000 by 714.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're going back on the agenda to page 1. It's a status/fine assessment hearing, case 23-1088, 276 La Mancha Avenue, Nefertari T. Daly.
And Ms. Daly shows up.
Hello. Passed it up.
Did I?
Yeah, oh, passed it up.
Pardon me. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Order granting continuance and setting fine assessment hearing, affidavit of service, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, Exhibit 3, pictures, Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
Now, you are, tell us your name, please.
I'm Nefertari David.
You.
The village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the previous order. The signed certified mail came back undeliverable. The previous order granting continuance. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing that you own the property. And Exhibit 3 is photograph with a violation. And Exhibit 4 is the village's permit information. Any objection to these documents?
No.
All right, admitted without objection, 99% of the time, these cases are done this way because someone is having a problem with their insurance company. Yeah, and I usually wait for a couple months to see what's going on so we can see if you get any progress, so we know when to see you again. So this is when you come by here and you tell me what's going on with your case.
I am done. I have the check. They sent it on last week. What was it? Yeah, because I had to wait 10 days or something. I don't know for them to send it, but I have it. And so now I am in the process of getting quotes and getting my roof done, hopefully within the next month, because it's getting to be hurricane season. I don't want to get caught.
Yeah, well, you're going to need to get your roof done anyway because it's a roof leak. It's not just, so Ms. Daly has gone through all the hoops. She's had to face litigation. Let's kick this out 60 so she has enough time to hire her contractor and apply for a permit. Once her permit is issued, she is no longer a code enforcement issue, is she, or no?
Correct. She just needs to get her permit
I
printed.
just want to make sure everyone is on
We
the
do
same
not
page.
want her to remove the tarp. We want her to repair or replace the roof.
Exactly, and she's going to repair or replace the roof, is that correct, ma'am?
Yes. Going to replace the roof.
So I just want to make sure everyone's there, and so give me, she's looking up dates.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to give you about a close to 2 months as we can, which gives you time to get some quotes and get a permit moving along.
Okay.
Okay.
779.
7779 is lovely. And I am so happy to see someone succeed in a timely manner.
You
'cause
should have that done by then, right?
We're just talking about the permit.
Issued, not the roof done, just the permit.
Okay, so I don't know how that, do I pull the permit or
No,
does the people
roofing
that's doing the
company pulls
roofing?
the permit. And you're just going to make sure, you remember the girl who was just here with all those messages and stuff? Make sure you get a company and make sure that you can follow through with their permitting. When did you submit it? Then you can contact the village to see if they've done it.
Yeah, and just make sure that, like you heard me and you heard the magistrate tell the last people, but keep track when they get into the system, don't let comments sit unresolved. Don't let your contractor let comments sit unresolved. There's no reason you shouldn't have a permit by July 7th. There's no reason. But your contractor needs to be diligent. If the village sends you comments back and nobody reads the email and nobody addresses the comments, the permit will sit in there forever and not actually get issued. So make sure you keep on your contractor.
You're a more active owner than most because you've already been through some issues just to get to this point. So when you pick your company and they say, oh, good, we're going to go down and get a permit, follow up behind them, come visit the people over here at building permits and say, here's my address. Have they applied for a permit? And if they have, then you're smiling and you're just saying, keep it up. But you're going to talk to them just to make sure.
And this has been going on since.
This is what a good owner would do. And she was in litigation. I mean, there's, you got to deal with the fact that they can't fund these things.
Yeah, she was, but we're 2 years in almost.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Almost
That's why I'm
2.
giving her the time. But she's also 2 years in and she shows up every time.
That's correct.
So you're getting rewarded for paying attention and for trying. And that's what I do. If you show up here and you do things, I believe that you should be rewarded for those things. So 7779, $25 a day fine. Pick a company, pick a reputable one, hopefully, and make sure you follow up on the permit process because once the permit gets issued, you're not a code enforcement case anymore. You're a building department case. And then they have 180-ish days to fix it or finish it, or they have to apply to renew the permit.
Okay.
And keep in touch. If something catastrophic happens, keep in touch with the village.
I call her. She's been very detrimental in helping me with.
See,
Then enough time for your contractor to get a permit issued.
and see, Margaret needs to get this point of the meeting noted so she can say, look, someone even talked well about me here. All right, take care, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, next, please.
Top of page 2, this would be a fine assessment hearing, 24-1027, 102 Nature's Way, Jezebel, Masonette, and Benigo Rivera. Benigno? I'm sorry if I mispronounced.
Your names, please?
Maisonette.
See, it sounds French.
Special Magistrate, the
And you're, wait 1 second, and him?
Benigno Rivera.
Thank you.
For mispronouncing.
It's okay.
Go ahead.
The code section is 26-57, shed without a permit. I'd like to submit the following documents as evidence. Exhibit 1 is the order finding violation. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 are the pictures. Exhibit 4 is the AS 400 permit information, and Exhibit 5 is the affidavit of compliance.
Oh, good.
Enter into the record, Exhibit 1 is the previous order finding violation with the returned but unsigned and dated certified mail. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing that you own the property. And Exhibit 3, dated photographs of the violation. Exhibit 4 is the village's permit information. Sorry about that. Exhibit 5 is the important one, affidavit of compliance. Any objection to these documents?
No.
Finding of fact or fine?
They were out of compliance for 3 days, but they did obtain the permit.
3 whole days, huh?
$75 fine.
You gonna make them pay a $75 fine?
I will leave that one in your lap, sir.
Applied in a somewhat timely manner, and they were out by 3 days?
Yeah, your prior order from March required compliance by 5/1. They complied 5/5.
No fine. She knew. You could see her shaking her head. She knew. You were 3 days late, which would be a $75 a day fine, and I just waived it.
Oh, thank you.
I try. I really try. Go on, run away.
Okay, thank you.
Adios. Bye. Go.
Messed these papers up so bad. Are we going to 3, the top of 3? Top of 3 now, Special Magistrate 25-0026, 2300 Shoma Drive, Shoma at Royal Palm Condo Association, Inc.
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Your name, sir?
Sergey Melnikov.
Can you spell it?
Sergey Melnikov.
See, I would have just put an I on the end. I guess I'm doing the other one. Okay.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the previous order finding violation with the signed certified mail. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing who owns the property. Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violation. Any objection to these documents being entered?
Admitted without objection. Now, is that a wet pothole?
That's a wet pothole.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a semi-repaired pothole Nope, it's a wet pothole.
There's several.
Yep.
They have got a lot done. They did take care of that perimeter hedge and all the trash and debris, and they are working on the permit for the pavement. I believe they may even,
An issue yesterday.
they did get their permit, I believe.
Yeah, I just got on my email. I'm sorry, I don't have
Yeah.
a paper, but it been issued yesterday, so it's scheduled for the Monday, May 19th, to start working on it. Because they lost the check and then they have to resubmit the payment, so
Yeah.
that's kind of delay for.
So they do need to get the potholes taken care of.
But it's,
But it's scheduled for Monday.
okay.
Special Magistrate, as the code officer indicated, 9.5, 14.2, and 12.53 are complied, so those will be continue to comply. That's everything except for the potholes.
All right, so that's the perimeter and trash.
And your prior order from March 17th required compliance by May 1st, so we're asking for a $325 and continuing fine.
Okay, because of where you are in the process, I get to.
We just got the permit yesterday, so we're asking for about maybe 2 weeks is the most.
No, well, you're gonna look at 2 weeks at $25 a day, which is not a horrible thing. And then you might want to come back and try to reduce that, but, you know.
Well, it's just so he's clear, there's already a fine of 13 days,
Oh,
so,
that's
Right.
$325.
correct.
So you've got a $325 fine right now, okay? If he fixes it on Monday or whatever, call and the fine stops, okay? And it'll be less than like $500.
Call to get the inspection so that the code officer can confirm that the
Yeah,
violation
that's what I
is in
mean.
compliance.
Call to make sure that they inspect it the second
It has
it's
to be
done.
everything done, right, or just in
The
the process?
potholes have to be filled in, yes.
Okay.
So while they're filling the potholes in, you can even call her to come by and look.
We'll do that.
And that way she can stop the fine. Like I'm saying, if you get this done in the next week, it's going to be less than $500 total.
Even if it's at night, weekends, call, leave a message, because then when I am available to go out, I'll do the reinspection and I can put it back to the day that you called.
Okay, sounds good.
Trying to make sure, you've done everything you could. Unfortunately, some lost check slowed you down.
Yeah.
And if you want to come back and, you can show me some emails about lost checks and having to replace them, we'll talk about a reduction, okay? But right now, you're only looking at $325 plus $25 a day, and you should be able to finish this out very fast.
But everything's looking really nice out there.
Thank you.
It's very nice.
And remember, when you asked for the reduction, just remind me that we had issues with perimeter hedges and things that were all fixed in a timely manner. And remember to find your stuff about the lost check.
Okay.
So if you can get them to say, we lost, find me an email trail or find me some messages to help back you up.
Yeah, I
okay?
do have an email from the pavement company that the check was lost. So I do have all
So
that
we may have to just
documentation.
collect from them, that's it. They probably gonna have to pay the fine, that's it.
Whatever it is, however you work it out, it's not going to be that big a fine. And if you want to come back for reduction, you have good reasons, is what I'm telling you. Okay?
Thank you.
325 plus continuing is granted. Thank you.
Same
Next.
page, repeat violation hearing, case 25-0287, 161 Bilbao Street, Annette and Carmelo Vargas.
Hello.
Your name, sir?
Carmelo Vargas.
Thank you. Did you lose all your officers? They're walking in weird ways. Try to remember what band it was. Take the Long Way. I think it was Styx. Take the Long Way Home?
$161 Bilbao. Thank you. Go ahead.
This code section would be 2317 for parking over the sidewalk. I observed the violation on 3/14/25. Certified mail was mailed out on 3/14/25 and returned on 3/19/25. Special Magistrate, I would like to admit the following items into evidence: the previous order finding violation and service, notice of violation and notice of hearing. That was Exhibit 2, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 4, photos.
All right, these are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the prior order finding violation. The signed certified mail with the notice of violation.
Who signed the mail, the certified? Who did it?
Whoever's signature that is.
My wife, probably.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Okay.
They didn't print their name.
Mhm.
The notice of hearing for tonight's hearing is Exhibit 2. Exhibit 3 is verification of ownership showing that you own the property. Exhibit 4 is dated photograph of the violation.
Where's the picture of the car in the driveway? Does it show?
I'll have him point on the screen.
Okay.
Here's another dated photo.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the prior certified mail for the prior order.
Okay.
Any objection to these documents?
No.
All right, admitted without objection. So, repeat violation,
My son.
you know, he's protecting his car from the traffic instead of giving you a $25 a day fine.
He probably parked for a few minutes there. I don't know how long.
You know, a few minutes, he parked it the wrong few minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, sometimes I get people who have
Where's the
big
car
vehicles
parked?
that can't.
I want to see which one of my son was parked. Can I see the violation, the car parked in the
Right
grass?
there. It's
Over the
the red
sidewalk.
car parked over the sidewalk.
For the sidewalk,
Yeah.
correct.
He's parked on, his back wheels are on the frickin' sidewalk.
Oh, I can't see it from here. He probably
You can't see
probably
it from
missed
here?
it. No, I see the car, but I see it in the driveway.
Special Magistrate, I would also like to admit the following into evidence. That would be case number 23-1057, and that was December the 19th of 2023.
Yeah, I came. Yeah.
If you need glasses, go get them. But
I
there are
do.
pictures of those parked cars on the sidewalk.
On the sidewalk. Oh. It's hard to see it. I don't need to put my glasses. Because I see the driveway in the side there.
Blind, and then try to use that as, you know, a defense. You can't see it?
Tire is.
Look at the tire.
Well,
There. God. I can't see it.
it's hard to see. I mean, it doesn't show that
It's
much.
not hard to see. These are like 50-inch TVs. There's like a dozen of them. You can put your glasses on and you can look.
Concerning the last hearing that was supposed to come on December, Anthony, I came. My name was not registered in the book, and also one of the co-enforcers told me that this issue was solved. So she told me to go home that day. That's the reason why I'm here today.
Well, there was a violation that day, and now there's a violation again. Okay? This has nothing to do with the prior one. This is a new case because your kid parks with his tires on the sidewalk.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you expect a skateboarder to run through the car? Do
So
you
that he
expect the
doesn't
dog
park.
walkers to walk through your yard?
I
and
make sure that he
trespass?
doesn't park.
So
I make
what's,
sure
what's
just-
the fine here? How many days, how many dollars?
Observed on March 14th, ran through today at 62 days at $50 a day, so that's $3,100 and continuing.
But that was a very one-day violation. How can you remain a violation active for so many days?
Because it's a
They call
repeat
for a
violation.
reinspection.
The hearing.
There's no reinspection. This is a
This
repeat
is a
violation. So
yeah.
the minute that the code enforcement officer observes the violation, which was March 14th of 2025, he cites the case, the fine starts running that day.
Exactly.
There's no requirement in the law for the village to give you time to cure the violation. You've been found in repeat violation.
And then if he wants to tell you that he's moved it, you can go back there and look and stop the fines, right?
That's what it was
But he
like.
didn't.
I mean, it's
No,
through
I'm
today,
just
so
saying
it's-
for him, he could have
Right.
called and stopped this stuff if he would have called, said, look, my kid's no longer parking there.
No,
But you didn't.
well, they don't park there. There's enough parking there. Made a mistake that day.
Special magistrate, I took a photo on the 10th, and then I came back and took one on the 13th, and it was in the same spot. So
Oh, exactly. And it's probably been, and you can tell, yeah. And if he left it there for 3 days, it's even worse. All right, 3,100 plus continuing is granted.
Can you reduce that for parking?
Not at this hearing. That's a fine reduction hearing. You're going to have to come back again.
Okay, so,
In compliance
well,
to
it's-
even request.
but it's in compliance. We just parked for a few. He parks good. I don't know why he parked there that day, that way.
There's 2 different days he parked bad.
It's the
You
red car,
didn't
right?
call on any of the other days that he parked good to get an inspection done. So if you want to call for an inspection, go do it. You'll stop the fine.
Who's
It's
gonna
going to
go?
run
Who's
until
gonna
you
go?
call for an inspection.
Who's gonna go for the inspection?
You need to call the code enforcement officer,
Anthony?
and he'll come out and
Yeah,
inspect.
you could go. You could go any day. The car is parked there. It's parked in the right way. Please go there and do that, please. Things are rough, for parking, for 5 minutes parking. He parked wrong.
But the problem is, sir, it's not 5 minutes of parking. It was first observed on March 14th, and then there's 2 photographs here from 3 days apart where the car is parked 2 more times in violation of the code. So it's not 5 minutes. This is a pattern of behavior, so.
I'll let him know. I mean, I'm not the one who's doing it. Unfortunately, it's my son. But
It's your
I mean,
property.
right now
and
it's
if you
parked
can't
where it's
control your
supposed to be.
son, you just have to pay a $25 or a $50 a day fine. It's all good. So it's all up to you. You do whatever you want. 3,100 plus continuing is granted.
Thank you.
Next, please.
Next, we're going to page 4. These are violation hearings. The second from the bottom is 25-0260, 123 Nottingham Road. Brian, I'm sorry, we did that one. The next one down. Next one down. 25-0062, 11848 Balsam Drive, Christopher and Karina Montgomery.
20. All right, bro.
This is special matters. This is code section 2318, paren B2. The description is parking in rear yard. I observed the violation on 12225. Certified mail was mailed out on 12225 and posted on 4825. I would like to admit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and an affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, photos.
Christopher Montgomery.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the notice of violation and notice of hearing, the signed certified mail that came back.
I'm getting dizzy.
Violation. The notice of hearing for tonight's hearing. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing that you own the property. And Exhibit 3 are dated photographs of the violation. Any objection to these documents being entered?
No.
Thank you.
All right, so what's parking in the rear yard, the boat or something else?
It's the boat is parked, the area is not big enough for the boat to be parked on, not protruding the back of the house and not coming past the front of the house. And he's tried, but it's just not big enough, so therefore, the boat is still going to be continued to be parking in the rear yard. It can't park on the side of the home, it's not big enough.
The boat is bigger than the house, is what you're telling me.
My house is 24 feet long. My boat is 23 feet long, and it's on a trailer. It's on the side of my house. I had it further back. He let me know I can't have it in the back of the yard, and I moved it all the way to the front to a gate. The tongue is at the gate.
See, I had a 22-foot open fisherman for 25 years. Okay? About the same size. You got a 24-foot side yard or 24-foot side of your house.
Yeah.
You got a 23-foot boat. You got a trailer tongue that's going to be an extra 2 or 3 feet out from the bow. Physics. You have a physics problem.
I have my house isn't long enough problem, I suppose. My
Well,
house is
no, your boat
800
is,
square
your
feet.
house is too short, or your boat is too long, or I don't know. If you could move, can they move the fence? Would that be allowable? I'm just trying to think of a solution because,
It doesn't change the problem. The problem is the,
well, no, I'm saying if he moved the fence towards the road.
Permit the driveway.
What?
You would have to permit that as a driveway.
Okay.
Pull the boat forward to where it doesn't go past the back of his house. Suppose you want to park on the driveway.
come talk in the microphone.
We're trying to find a solution, but, the problem is the fence in the boat.
All right, that rock area should not be there anyhow. That should be grass. And if he's going to park on it, he can permit that as a driveway. He can pull the boat forward so it doesn't go past the back of his house. If he pulls it forward now, then he's parking on the front lawn. So a lawn is a lawn. And he would have to permit as a driveway, pull the boat forward, and he could have it there then, as long as the boat is on the driveway, not on or over the sidewalk, and doesn't go past the back of the house.
Now, if he had enough room in front of the gate to put the boat without it going to the sidewalk, would that be good?
It would have to be a driveway.
I don't have that room.
Be a driveway.
Yes.
Try to work through
Could
this
not
with
park
you.
on the lawn.
So, okay, so it can't be a lawn, and the problem is, unless he builds a 2-foot addition onto his house, which would cost way too much in terms of permitting and whatever else.
And the village also has a lot for RVs and boats. That is a very nominal fee that the boat could be parked at.
Which I'm already paying one already, storing something, because I moved here I should have looked into things more. I was hoping to get a decent sized house with a large yard that I can have my hobbies and things, and shortly coming there, I found out that I can't have things in the backyard, so I've sold most of my things that I was expecting to have in my backyard, which is my 2 4-wheelers. I had these things, and I am in violation with my driveway and my fence since moving in, because I moved in and my driveway was so tiny I couldn't fit any cars. So I had a mediation hearing with you. I've been here 3 times now. And I missed my last case because I never got the certified letter in the mail to come for the actual hearing for the fines. So I got a letter in the mail a month ago that I have a lien on my house. All I did was add some gravel, and I made a mistake by moving one of the concrete pillars that you drive onto, and I asked if I could have it put back in, and I was told I can't. So now I have a fine going every day. I try to speak my mind, saying I don't have enough money to redo my whole driveway right now, or the fence that wasn't permitted when it was put in, which is fine now too. And I just feel like everything just keeps coming at me. And yes, I should have looked at the things, but I replaced a wood fence that I didn't know that I couldn't replace because the wood was there, and the gravel I added, and not knowing that I couldn't take out the concrete pad, and I'm being fined, assessed for that now. And now I'm being told I can't put my boat on the side of the house, when I was told, move your boat from the back of the house, put it on the side of the house. I did that, I complied, and I got rid of everything else that might have been in my backyard, but now I'm being told I can't even put my boat on the side of the house. I have to do the gate, so before I do that, and the driveway, if you're telling me that I can move my gate forward, I'm glad I didn't do it yet. If I can move my gate forward to give me access so I can park my boat, then I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, well, they've just told me you can't, because it'd be in the front yard then, although. So, I'm a boat owner, or I was a boat owner, I'm sympathetic, but,
The motor, that's all it is. It's the motor past the house. It's
unfortunately the motor's past the house. It's kind of unfortunate, but it's the law here.
It's the code, yeah. There's
When I bought my house, I was a single dude. I got a huge driveway. I love my huge driveway. I actually bought the house because I thought maybe I'll even park the boat there. Never had to, but it was at least, I had it mentally sort of designed for that. But this stuff just doesn't really seem to fit.
exactly what I did. I thought I was going to be able to do it, I feel like I've just been harassed for the last year being there. I'm getting a letter in the mail every day.
The problem is you expected something that doesn't exist, which is your unfettered right to use the property. Even in the acreage, you can't put your boats and stuff in your backyard. You know, the county has rules.
Understood.
So the village has rules. And, you know, unfortunately, what you have is violating the rules right now. So give me a long time to cure it so we can figure out what to do with his life.
7.7 or 7.9,
Okay,
$25 a day.
7.7, 7.9, 25.
Yes, sir.
So if you get it out of there by July 7th, you won't see a fine.
Okay.
If you can try to figure out how to get a driveway permit, you know, then you can do something like that and driveway it and put it there. This is all I can really do for you right now, is to try to extend your time a little.
Understood.
Which I've done.
So, sorry, to repeat what you just said, is something with the driveway? What is it?
So I've said you have until July 7th to fix the problem.
Okay.
So if you remove the boat before July 7th, it's done.
Okay, that's
If
not
you
a problem.
if you get a driveway permit and get it installed by July 7th, it's done. So you may have to move the boat for a little while, then bring it back. But July 7th is your date. You can figure out what to do. You won't be fined if you do something by the 7th, and call for an inspection just so they can say, went by, it was gone.
Okay. Just to clarify, so if I did get the driveway done, I can still have the boat on, I'm just trying to clarify. The boat can be on the side of the house if I do something with my driveway? I'm just,
Talk to him after. You can respond to that, though.
You can call me tomorrow and I'll explain it to you.
all right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, we'll get the explanation.
No problem.
If you pour a driveway,
Yeah.
you can park on it.
Okay.
Okay?
And that's going back to the side of the house? I'll talk to you tomorrow.
You'll
Yes,
talk to
ma'am.
about where it goes.
Okay.
But, you know, if you have a driveway, you can park on the driveway. You just have to figure out how to design this thing so it will be permittable, and she'll help
Amazing.
you.
Okay.
Okay?
I have one more question, if that's okay, sir.
I get paid by the hour.
Because I did miss and I got the lien letter in for those things, I called back right when I got it, and they said, look, we understand that you don't have the money to do the driveway and you can't call the inspection on the fence because the other side of the fence that I mounted to is a rotted old fence on my neighbor. So I can't call an inspection out on that part yet. So I have to kind of roll it all in together, and it's accruing right now, but I don't have the funds.
Well, you need to talk to her later about the existing
We'll discuss
fine.
it all tomorrow if you call me.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. All right, next, please. We've got 2 guys left. Don't buy a lotto ticket.
Page 5, second case down, 25-009. Nope, that's not what you handed me.
Page 6.
What happened to page 5?
Second case now.
All right, we'll go to page 6.
Earlier. We already heard that one, didn't we?
I don't know. So what one do you have?
163 Rivera.
All right, page 6, second one down. 25-0177, 163 Rivera Court, Erica N. Chase and Giovanni J. Portier.
Code sections 14.4A, disabled vehicles. I observed this violation on 2/13/25, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 2/14/25, posted that to the property. I had to renotice for the hearing and posted that to the property on 4/15/25. So I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures.
Okay. Tell us who you are, sir.
Giovanni Portier.
Thank you.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the notice of violation and notice of hearing. The certified mail that came back, returned to sender.
Can I see it?
Yep. It's a posting affidavit showing that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were posted to your property.
Yes, was this because I know she said she did the first one, and then I guess something happened, and then I had to do this one. So I just want to make sure.
Right, so that the original notice is from 2/13. Then there was another affidavit of service here. So this is for this document, for the notice of violation.
Okay. So the one from 2/13, obviously, because I made it here for that. And then I was told, wasn't enough time or something, just come back to this one.
All right, we'll get into all that.
Okay.
So this is the second affidavit of posting. This is Exhibit 2 for the notice of hearing that was sent for today's hearing, the renotice.
Awesome.
Yeah, because last time you came for hearing last month, I didn't have, you didn't have proper time to comply, so I had to renotice you.
Yeah. So Exhibit 3 is a verification of ownership showing that you own the property. And Exhibit 4 is the photographs. Any objection to these documents?
No objections. Can I, like,
Yeah, you can talk to the magistrate, yeah.
awesome, no, so I have a photo from yesterday and on my phone also with a timestamp saying that the vehicles has been moved. So, and also called, I just want to say, I know you told the gentleman before, also called, when I kept on calling, I just didn't understand the message. It says, no one is available until after 5. And I'm like, I work from 8 to 5, so I'm thinking, shouldn't they be closed after 5? So I
And
did call and leave a
4:30,
message.
but whatever.
No, I got you. I called and left a message, and I was like,
No,
hey, I'll just leave
we're
a
right
message.
now, we're in violation hearing, so you're going to get time to cure the thing you've already cured.
It's solved.
Yeah, no,
it's
you're
cured.
good. You're going to get time to cure what you've cured.
Yes,
We've got to go give you more time to fix what you've already fixed.
gotcha.
It's all good. This is just following the process.
Awesome, okay.
All right, so Mr. Portier has fixed it already, so what's a good date for him to fix it by?
June 26th, or appearance at the
26th.
July 9th fine assessment hearing, or $25 a day fine.
626, 7 what?
9.
7-9, what? Why
25.
don't I just look down the page and look at all the 7 9s? 25. All right, so are you asking Ms. Hancock to go look at your driveway?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. See, you have to fix this by June 26th now.
Yes, but.
Yeah, you got
I
plenty of
appreciate
time,
it.
but if it's done, she'll be by tomorrow.
I think I have a
You
wife, she was like,
want
the
your
14th, 'cause I
affidavit
was
of
like,
compliance.
It's the 15th. She's like, it's the 14th, you should make sure it happens, so, but thank you, it's done.
Great, excellent. So you're already done. She's going to come by tomorrow just to confirm it's been done. You'll get an affidavit of compliance in your file, and you'll be done with code enforcement for a while.
Yay. Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you.
One last person in the back. Who are we? And, well, they have to find you first. They'll find you. You're somewhere here on the docket.
I don't even have them listed. So it's a fine mitigation hearing, special
Oh.
magistrate on page 9, 19-0982, 102 Sycamore Drive, Frank and Catherine Furia.
Okay.
Frank,
Frank Furia, okay.
yes.
And special magistrate, while the code officer's coming, the fine amount is $1,300.
Okay.
Special Magistrate, I'd like to admit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, fine mitigation requests. Exhibit 2, order setting fine and order book. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, an affidavit of compliance.
Okay. How did they comply? Did they permit it, or what am I looking at? Shed
The
and,
shed without a permit.
so did you permit the shed, or you just remove it?
No, I permitted it, Your Honor.
Okay. And why should the fine be reduced? Tell me why.
Excuse me?
Why should the fine be reduced?
I can't hear you.
Why should the fine be reduced?
Your Honor, it was only 30 days, and I didn't even know I needed a permit. My neighbor had called it in, and that's when the inspector came out and told me I was too close to the property line of my other neighbor, and there's like a variance there for utility or whatever.
Easement.
Setback.
Yes, and it took me about 30 days to get everything done, and all I did was put it where he told me to, and then he told me to strap it down, so I got everything done. I called in, he came out, and he approved it.
Okay.
And I just got the letter saying there was a lien on the property, so I wasn't aware of it.
Okay, you probably got it done a little late. That's why we have a $1,300 fine.
It was about a month late, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, so what do you think it should be, since you were a little late?
Well, it was only late less than a month, Your Honor.
Well, the month is $1,300, so.
Sorry. I don't know.
I'm the guy. All right. All right, what's the village say?
We're not opposing reduction. We'd be amenable to reducing it to 989.26 by 714.
They want to reduce it to 1,000. I'm going to drop it to 500 because they have costs to do this, and you're the last dude here. So you get the last guy discount. Run away. You'll get an order in the mail.
Thanks, Ron.
You've got to pay it before the 14th, so make sure you get it paid so it wipes it out.
Of next month, of June.
July.
July, but just get it paid
July.
anyway. Okay? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Page one, number one, or do we need a break? We're going, we're going. I'm good about going.
Yeah.
We're going, we're going.
Okay. Wait, you'll get an order that has the amount in it? So when you get the order,
It'll be
come to
mailed.
Village Hall. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Ron.
Status/fine assessment hearings 25-0048, Madison Green, Wyndham HOA, Wyndham Village Homeowners Association, Inc.
Good to see they cared. No.
Your Honor, I would like to admit the following items into evidence. The previous order finding violation, an affidavit of service, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, Exhibit 3, photos, and Exhibit 4, AS 400 permit info.
Okay, so failure to meet conditions, landscaping general, removal of vegetation. They haven't done it. Do you want to fine?
Yes, sir. Your previous order required compliance by 5/1. It's still out of compliance, so we're asking for a fine of $325 and continuing. That's 13 days at $25 a day.
And that is granted.
Fine
And you
assessment.
have service via posting.
Thank you, sir. Fine assessment hearings, case 24-1019, 125 Ponce de Leon Street, Rudy A. Chamorro.
You mean the guy with the only green grass in the village? Oh, I remember him.
Special Magistrate would like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the order finding violation with an affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
All right, I remember this guy. Did he show up last time? I'm pretty sure.
Special Magistrate, you can see on the second picture, dated the 13th, there's still a strip of artificial turf on the driveway.
I told you, I thought he showed up. He showed up.
He was here, yeah.
And I did read your affidavit, which says hand delivered, or hand delivered instead of just posted. So
Yes, sir.
you have a hand delivered notice of service, and he should have showed up again, but he didn't. So
This one, your previous order required compliance by April 26th. It's been out of compliance for 18 days, so we're asking for a fine of $450 and continuing.
$450 plus continuing is granted. You could have put grass there, but well, whatever. My neighbors who have houses on canals who are just pumping their irrigation water have burning grass too. It's kind of fun watching a drought work. So, but this guy has green. And actually, 513, did he, no, it's just partially removed. Does he still have green on there? The one strip seems to be gone.
There's a small, right underneath the
Front one,
car
you
near
can
the
see
front
it.
tire.
Yeah, right on the front passenger side, he's left some.
But he still has to remove the wood and replace it with concrete.
Yeah,
So,
he'll work on it when he sees this. All right, 450 plus continuous granted. Let's go next.
25-0205, 134 Galliano Street, Adeline, Pierre.
Special Magistrate would like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the order finding violation. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
Okay, I'm just trying to see where the garbage can is. Is this a garbage can thing? Garbage can not screened. Oh, there it is. It's hiding in the shadows in front of the AC, and if you hid it behind the AC, it'd be okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
And then we have dirty something or other, stained drip edge. Okay. What would you like? You have service via signed green card, by the way.
This has been out for 13 days, so $325 and continuing.
325 plus continuing is granted.
25-0015, 215 Bilbao Street, Boris E. and Ivan Lopez.
Special Magistrate, I would like to admit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, an order finding violation in the affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, photos. And Exhibit 4, AS400 permit info.
Okay, what kind of work was done?
They put in a water heater and they never
They left the water heater at the curb.
outside. They never came in to apply for a permit to,
Rookie move.
yeah.
Don't
Wasn't
leave
very
the water
smart.
heater at the curb. Okay, you have service via posting. What would you like?
This one's been out of compliance for 18 days at $25 a day, so fine at $450 and continuing.
$450 plus continuing is granted.
25-0019, 342 Sandpiper Avenue, Mark and Michelle Conley.
Okay. All right, signed green card. Let's
I'd like to
go.
enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Which one, Dad?
That's you.
Thank you.
It's a very nice, vibrant color there. Which one's, oh, the HHR. That is an HHR, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, we used to do punch buggies and HHRs and one other one. What was the, okay.
My
Anyway,
daughter now
looks
does
dead.
yellow car.
Yep. All right, so you have service via signed green card. What would you like?
This one, Special Magistrate Code Section 06135, which is the house numbers, is complied, so that your order will reflect continue to comply. The other code sections that remain outstanding have been out for 13 days, so a fine of $325 and continuing.
Is granted with a finding of fact on which one was that?
06135 at the end.
House
It's the house numbers.
Two together. All right, finding of fact on 06135, 325, plus continuing for the rest.
Thank you.
Service via, which one is this? Yeah, signed green card.
25-0103, 9950 Belvedere Road, Murphy Oil, USA, Inc.
I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Excellent. Do we have a fine, or is this a finding of fact?
Fine.
Yeah, this one complied yesterday, so we're asking for $275 and not continuing. That's 11 days at $25 a day.
275 plus no continuing is granted.
Thank you.
And you have a signed green card.
25-0171, 187 Salcedo Street, Patricia L. and Michael P. Banks.
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. Well, we fit the travel trailer in the driveway, just couldn't fit the tow vehicle.
Well, it's been there. That's why he can't park his vehicle, and he keeps parking over the sidewalk.
Well, he's going to get a fine for doing that because he signed a green card and he didn't pay attention and he didn't cure it, so.
He was here last hearing.
It's been out of compliance for 13 days, so we're asking for a fine of $325 and continuing.
Granted.
Thank you. Violation hearings 25-0014, 1357 Thornbank Lane, Herbert III and Javonda Porter.
Special Magistrate, the code section is 23-18B3 and 15-142. Parking on the lawn, bare spots in the front yard. I observed the violation on 2/4/25. The notice of violation was sent certified mail along with the notice of hearing on 2/5/25 and returned on 2/11/25. I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
All right, you have a return green card that's been dated for service, so.
We're asking for compliance by May 29th or appearance at the June 11th fine hearing or $25 a day fine. Thank you. 25-0223, 106 Brookwood Court, confidential record.
The code section is 26-67 E5 and 6190A12. Prohibited storage pad with an expired permit. Stained drip edge and structure not painted in uniform color. I observed the violation on 2/24/25. The notice of violation, notice of hearing was sent certified mail on 2/25 and posted. Would like to submit the following documents and evidence. The notice of violation, notice of hearing with an affidavit of service is Exhibit 1. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 are the pictures, and Exhibit 4 is the expired pod permit.
I was wondering if Pod ever wanted their stuff back. It's been there for over, I'm like, okay, 412, when did they move it? When did they move it? They haven't moved it? All right, affidavit of service gives you service. What would you like?
Compliance by May 29th or appearance at the July 9th fine hearing, or $25 a day fine.
52979?
Yes, sir.
No, we skipped the 611?
Yes, sir, $25 a day fine.
Okay.
25-0239, 1329 West Side Way, Joseph and Marie Terrason Gulam.
Guillaume.
The code section, Special Magistrate is 15-132, bare spot in the swale. I observed the violation on 2/26/25. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were sent certified mail on 2/28/25 and returned on 3/7. I'd like to submit the following documents and evidence. The notice of violation, notice of hearing is Exhibit 1. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
Okay, you have another returned and dated green card, so I guess that's service enough. And isn't there a Robert Guillaume, who's an actor? I believe he was on something, sitcom.
Yeah, it could be, I'm not sure.
And you have service, what would you like?
We're asking for compliance by 5/29 or appearance at the June 11th fine hearing, or $25 a day fine.
I like the way you switch it up on me, makes me pay attention. Granted.
Thank you. 25-0245, 154 Alcazar Street, Ramraj Gayadeen.
Code section 15-40, trees planted in the right-of-way without a right-of-way permit. I observed the violation on 2/28. The notice of violation and notice of hearing was sent certified mail on 2/28 and returned on 3/6. Would like to submit the following documents to evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 are the pictures, and Exhibit 4 is an email showing that there is no right-of-way permit. Now, they did remove a lot of it, but that's still remaining, and it's not compliance.
All right, so we have a stump left, basically. I mean, I'm looking at the picture, that's still
The stump, he's asking.
That's a tree stump, a special magistrate.
okay. It took a minute for the yes to come out. All right, you have a signed green card here, so you have service, and they have until when to fix their stump?
Comply by May 29th or appearance at the June 11th fine hearing, or $25 a day fine.
All right, granted, they'll probably go, but I thought I fixed it.
Well, I spoke to him, he's aware, I told him he's got to remove the stump.
Okay, as long as you have gone that extra step, I feel great about it, good. All right, next case, please.
25-0249, 208 Palm Beach Trace Drive, Wilson G. Rodriguez and Maria A. Pelez Tirado.
Code section 6-22, 108.4, a water heater installed without a permit. I was informed of the violation on 3/6/25. The notice of violation and notice of hearing was sent on 3/6/25 and signed on 3/11/25. I'd like to submit the following documents to evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation and notice of hearing. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3 is the AS400 permit information. And just for clarity, Special Magistrate, I've spoken with the contractors who have submitted the permit. It's in plan check.
See how it's going to be like, tie it all together to me and wrap it up in a bow. How'd you figure it out? Oh, you talked to the contractor, see? You tied it all together for me.
For the record, it's permit number 25-0523, which is still in plan check.
Excellent. So we're going to give them some time to get this out, I assume. What are your dates?
5/29 or appearance at the June 11th fine hearing, or $25 a day fine.
So I assume a water heater permit fly through.
Sure, that should be plenty of time.
Yeah, that's plenty of
quick.
time.
Yeah.
It's electrical plumbing, but it's nothing you have to engineer or design or whatever. All right, granted.
Thank you. 25-0253, 1441 Ryan Lane, Jonathan Guerrero, and Lorena A. Vergara.
Code section 6-22, 108.4, 15-142, and 15-132. Unpermitted driveway with unpermitted driveway material. I observed the violation on 3/6/25. The notice of violation and notice of hearing was sent certified mail on 3/7 and returned on 3/18. I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation with notice of hearing. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 are the pictures, and Exhibit 4 is the affidavit of compliance.
I guess he was jealous of his neighbor's big driveway and he wanted to park next to it. Finding of fact is granted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Special Magistrate.
25-0147 187 Dove Circle, Daniel G. Mendoza and Luciana C.
Have to wait for
Gonzalez.
5. See? Someone give me a stack of stuff to look at.
Ms. Hancock, that's you. Yep.
What happened to,
Did I skip a page?
Skip a case? We'll fill it out.
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped to page 6.
Oh,
I've lost page 5. Here we go. Oh, we got a whole
we
page.
got a lot of 5, and you lost a big one.
Sorry about that. We're going back to page 5, 25-0066, 10651 Southern Boulevard, 10200 Okeechobee LLC.
I get to see who jumps. It was Anthony.
That's why Ms. Hancock was confused, because she was not up yet.
She's like, but Anthony,
Sorry about that.
I ain't ready.
Go ahead.
It's the 10641, wrong one. Can I have that one back? Is that coming up? Yes, I gave him 10651 instead of 10641.
Well, I thought the case was 10651 on the top, so we're good.
So we are, okay, we're good, okay.
We're at the right spot.
All right.
We're waiting for a watered attorney, I guess.
Okay. Good. I thought he called 4, I thought he said 41, but that was the picture that was up there. My bad, I apologize.
That's all right. Somebody needed water.
Sorry, we're at the top of page 5, no?
Yes, we got the right case and we called it, so let's,
All righty, Special Magistrate, this would be code section 6-195 and B1, C and D, 15132. That's for the dumpster enclosure and sidewalk stain. Retention pond overgrown, which I found out is not a pond, and dead dying tree limbs. The mail was met out on 12725 and posted on 42825. I would like to omit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and an affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, photos, and Exhibit 4, an affidavit of compliance. This is a finding of fact.
okay, service via posting, finding of fact is granted.
Thank you. 25-0091 11577 Oleander Drive, Deborah J. and Morris T. Adkins.
Now it's somebody's turn. Still him.
She gave him all this stuff.
All right.
All righty.
all you have to do is read your papers.
All righty, this would be code section 6190, Korean E, storing items in the open carport. I observed the violation on 2625. Certified mail was met on 2625 and posted on 4825. I would like to omit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, an affidavit of compliance. This is also a finding of fact.
Okay. Service via posting, finding of fact is granted. Did he clean it up enough to put the car in?
Thank you. 25-0093 10641 Southern Boulevard, Rashram, Abbasi Royal Palm LLC.
Should be code section 12-54 and 14-2, litter on business premises and trash and debris on property. I observed the violation on 12925. Certified mail was mailed out on 12925 and posted on 32125. I would like to omit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, and notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, photos.
Okay, I like the one up on the screen. It's very junky. All right, so we have service via posting. What would you like?
Compliance by June 26th or appearance at the July 9th fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
626-7925 granted.
25-0255 231 Bilbao Street, Pedro and Miguel Angel Zapata Sukiari.
Code section 2318, paren B2. The description would be parking in the rear yard. I observed the violation on 3725. Certified mail was mailed out on 3725 and returned on 31425. I would like to omit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, a notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, photos.
Okay, well, when he sells one, he can move the other one. All right, you have service via signed green card. What would you like?
Compliance by June 26th or appearance at the July 9 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
25-0259 219 Bilbao Street, FKH SFR Propco B HLD LP.
This would be Code Section 6190A1. The description would be structure stained. I observed the violation on 3/7/25. The mail was mailed out on 3/7/25 and returned back on 3/18/25. I would like to admit the following items into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, photos.
Signed green card equals service. What would you like?
By June 26 or appearance at the July 9 fine hearing, or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
25-0275, 799 Lilac Drive, Zenaida Agramonte and Daniel Paez and Ladelina Sanchez.
This would be Code Section 6190H. Description would be the storm shutters are closed. I observed the violation on 3/11/25. Certified mail was mailed out on 3/11/25 and posted on 4/14/25. I would like to admit the following items into evidence: a notice of violation. Exhibit 1, the notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, photos. And Exhibit 4, an affidavit of compliance. This is also a finding of fact.
Affidavit of service is good service. Finding of fact is granted.
Thank you. 25-0146, 171 Dove Circle, Anna P. and Jose C. and Christian J. Matute.
Here's Margaret on page 6. Actually, bottom of page 5.
I'm somewhere.
You're at the bottom, but you're soon to be at the top.
It's good to be somewhere.
You can tell when we get nearer the end of a hearing.
Section 06190A1. Oh, I got, and 3, and 14.2. Structure and driveway are stained, miscellaneous items in public view. Observe this violation on 2/10/25. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 2/11/25, and posted those to the property. Like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
You could always stack it behind the fence. You have service via posting. What would you like?
Compliance by 6/26 or appearance at the July 9th fine hearing, or $25 a day fine.
That is granted.
25-0147, 187 Dove Circle, Daniel G. Mendoza and Luciana C. Gonzalez.
Code Section 06190A1 and I, structure is stained, tarp on roof. Observe this violation on 2/10/25, sent out notice of violation on 2/11/25. I spoke with the owner on the phone on 2/24/25 that she had received a notice of violation and notice of hearing. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
That tarp on the roof is like a big invitation to a code enforcement officer.
Stop here.
All right, but that's not part of the problem. It's structure. Oh, it is part of it. All right, you have a actual service here.
Yes.
What would you like?
Compliance by June 26 or appearance at the July 9 fine hearing, or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
25-0180, 112 Parkwood Drive, Jarlis R. Sipspida Oro and Anelli R. Cavedo.
6135, house numbers not posted on structure. Observe the violation on 2/13/25, sent out notice of violation and notice of violation and notice of hearing, certified mail on 2/14/25, posted those to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
I just love the garage door. I mean, I just love the garage door. I like it ties all that black paint in with the white. It's lovely.
Nice. Now they need a house
Affidavit
number.
of service is good service. What would you like?
Compliance by June 26 or appearance at the July 9 fine hearing, or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
25-0193, 116 Heron Parkway, Emmanuel Flores.
Code Sections 144A, 06190A3, disabled vehicle driveway stain not uniform in color. Observe this violation on 2/18/25, sound now notice of violation, notice of hearing, certified mail on 2/20/25. It was delivered on 2/22/25. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, USPS tracking. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. I think I may have a green card with that as well.
You have a USPS tracking confirmed, so you have service.
We're asking for compliance by 6/26 or appearance at the 7/9 fine hearing, or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
25-0199, 10619 Bobby Lane, Sabina P. Rodriguez.
Code Sections 14.4A and 14.2, disabled vehicle, miscellaneous items in public view. Observe this violation on 2/14/25. Send out notice of violation and notice of hearing certified. 2/20/25, posted those to the property. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay, you have an affidavit of service. Who says Toyota trucks can't die? What would you like?
Compliance by 626 or appearance at the 7-9 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
25-0211, 135 Parkwood Drive, Joanne Sirocco.
Code Section 06190D, 15132, and 14.4A, planted area not maintained, disabled vehicle, swell and disrepair, and with bare spot and mulch. I observed this violation on 2/21/25, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing, certified mail on 2/24/25. It was signed on 2/26/25. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. And I do believe I forgot to put pictures of the vehicle that was disabled.
You can tell me about it.
It was a red car. They were trying to sell it, and it was sitting on the driveway for probably 3 or 4 months. And the mom, the owner of the home, had called me and said that the son was trying to sell it but wasn't having any luck. But he must have had luck because now it is gone.
That's lovely. You have a signed green card. I just find it amazing you have an overgrown planted area in a drought.
So on this one, code sections 06190D and 14.4A, which is the planted area is not maintained, and the disabled vehicle, those are findings of fact.
So you fixed that, okay.
15132, we're asking for compliance by 626 or appearance at the 7-9 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Well, the good news is the rainy season should be in full swing by the end of June.
Well, they're gonna need some
626,
sod.
7925 is granted.
25-0212, 9970 Belvedere Road, Intel Group LLC.
Code Section 15141, 1571, 06195B, dead, dying, missing landscape. Observe this violation on 2/20/25. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing, certified mail on 2/24/25. It was delivered on 2/26/25. Like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, USPS tracking. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
Okay, USPS tracking confirm is good service.
We're asking for compliance by June 26 or appearance at the July 9 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted, I wish I had a stamp. It would make it so much easier.
25-0216, 123 South State Road 7, 201A, Real Sub LLC.
Code Section 06195, sidewalks are stained. Observe this violation on 2/20/25, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 2/24/25. It was signed for on 2/26/25. Like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Trying to see if this is a stamp. You got a signed green card. I'm thinking if she's as good as Willie. So we have a stamped signed or a stamped green card. You have service. What would you like?
Compliance by 626 or appearance at the 7-9 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
25-0227, 223 Sandpiper Avenue, FKHSFR, Propco B, HLDLP.
Code Section 2098 and 2318B3, flagpole without a permit and parking on the lawn. Observe this violation on 2/25/25. Send out notice of violation, notice of hearing. Certified mail on 2/26/25. I got it back on 3/7/25. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
Signed green card equals service, but I have a truck.
That's
What do you
okay,
like?
too.
Compliance by May 29th or appearance at the June 11 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
529, 611, 25 is granted.
25-0251, 390 South State Road 7, SCG Buckingham Square LLC.
Code Section 1712, 06195D, 2661G12, and 2349A14B17. graffiti on electric box, dumpsters not screened. Dumpsters are in parking spaces and drive aisles. Striping of parking spaces and handicap areas is faded and weathered. Dirt and standing water in walkway area. I observed this violation on 3/5/25. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 3/6/25. Posted those to the property as well as spoke with the property manager and emailed her. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Well, all right. And don't forget your affidavit of compliance.
Not there. Yeah, I got the papers mixed up. I gave you 1241.
Oh, yeah, you gave me 1241. Is the affidavit of compliance on something? Oh, it says 1241.
So somehow
No, this is 1241. Are we on
yeah, but I
1241?
didn't read in 12.
No, I was on 390 South State Road 7 on the top of page 8, right?
Bottom of page 7. I'm way behind
Did I
you
skip
because
one?
that's what I'm staring at with a notice of
That's what I
compliance.
was. She confused me.
Is that what you read?
I read 390 because that's
That's
what
what
you
I thought.
read in, but we should be on 1241.
All right, since she read, let's go to the top of page 8. She read the right violations and all of the evidence for that.
So
Numbers.
next,
Okay, we'll go backwards for Margaret and
Thank
the
you.
next one.
right after that one. Sorry, sir.
Fault, sorry.
It's everyone's fault. It's late. All right, affidavit of service is good on that. What would you like?
Compliance by June 26th, or appearance at the July 9 fine hearing, or $25 a day fine.
All right, and go backwards one. Is this like
Yep.
Uno?
Bottom of page
Or-
7, 25-0232-1241 North State Road 7, Village Shops LLC.
Yeah, the Uno reverse card.
2661G, dumpsters not screened, gates are missing or broken. I observed the violation on 2/25/25, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 2/26/25. They signed that on 2/28/25. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Finding of fact is granted. You have service via green card.
Thank you.
And we have an electric Uno game, and I've played that with the kids from their teens up through their 20s, and we still play it.
And they've taken Uno up a notch. There's Uno Flip now. So, oh my God, you can barely keep track of what's going on. I can barely keep track of what's going on.
Oh,
But
I
the
gotta look
8-year-old or
that-
9-year-old is like, they got it down, not me. Now we're on page 8 again, 25-0265, 234 Park Road Drive, Norma L. Ruiz Trust, Norma L. Ruiz trustee.
Code section 9.1, replace fence or installed fence without a permit. I observed this violation on 3/10/25, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing, certified mail on 3/10/25. It was signed on 3/12/25. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information. Exhibit 5, affidavit of compliance.
All right, which one are we on? 250260? Okay, because I'm, oh, here, 234 Parkwood. Okay, signed green card equals service, finding of fact?
Yes, sir.
Granted.
Thank you.
The next case is an order rescinding hearing 22-1270, 253 East Saratoga Boulevard.
Granted.
Micheline Desravines and David Howicki, Streamline Pools and Spas. We're asking you to rescind the previous order finding delinquency and assessing fines and penalties.
Did it already because I don't step in the way of people moving orders away. Okay.
Thank you.
For the record, we need to pull the couple of findments that didn't show up, 24-0038 and 21-0377.
Got it. Well, we had enough.
Did you sign minutes?
Oh, I was just about to say I did.
Thank you, sir.
Please let the record reflect that I signed the minutes of January 8th and February 12th. And is there anything else to be brought before the Royal Palm Beach Code Enforcement Board?
No, sir. Thank you.
It is 8:15. We are adjourned.